Não queria ir de vermelho. Não, né? Que jogada, tá, cara?
Thank you. To me. Pass. Square it. Here, to me. My bad. Sorry. Here. Fine. Square it. Sorry.
Ixi.
What's it? Here. Here. To me. Square it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Ó. Olha, assim, coisa. Era ali. Nem graça.
We got this. Stay sharp.
Lucas, será que se você sentar na cadeira incomoda muito ele?
Ah, coitado.
Ela é tão pequenininha.
Olha lá, se você não encostar, se você quiser machucar sua coluna, não.
Ele tá tão bonitinho ali, velho.
To me. Swear side.
Tá encolhidinho.
I got it.
Vamos ver esse cara aqui.
Here.
Vamos descobrir se vai incomodar ele.
Piada.
Eu acho que vai incomodar, mas não muito. Não o suficiente.
Vem. Valeu, valeu.
Cross it. Cross it.
Na área. Monstro.
We got this. Do. Good job. Stay sharp.
Me incomodou. Ei, você, é com você que eu estou falando. Você se conectaria, não é? Se você pararia imediatamente.
To me. Make a run. Keepers.
I got it.
Ei, você, se você pararia imediatamente. Se você parar de macho, ideal da vinga.
Pass. Keepers.
Here.
Keepers. Here.
My fault.
Keepers.
Dando gol.
Keepers.
Diminuiu um pouco o brilho.
To me. Back post.
Nossa. Ela defendeu, velho.
O goleiro tá pegando muito aí, mano.
Não, nem foi o goleiro que defendeu, não, velho. Foi
Foi o
um
cara?
cara que pulou na frente mesmo. Valeu, valeu.
We got this. I'm on it.
Oxi, ia ser um golaço, hein? Bolão. Pera aí. Puta merda.
Quase que eu pulo pro lado errado.
Boa. Golaço. Ah, viado.
Gostei de estamina.
Eu também. Ah, viado. Dá pra estar mais pra cima. Tava fora do gol.
To me. Options.
Ah. Boa.
Uf.
Ixi.
Gol.
Pisa.
Cross it. Down the line.
Ah. Mirei errado. Eita. É, foi bom, foi bom.
Nessas partidas que não tem um cara, fica só no fundão, é tão melhor, velho.
É. Piada. Tentei chegar. Uia. Goleiro. É boa. Aqui, ó. Vocês. Vai lá.
Mas.
Sério, já parou pra pensar como é que ND, aquele bagulho de analisar ND, aquele óculos que você bota pra analisar ND, é tipo o jeito mais fácil de matar alguém. Porque ND de fora, quando você tá vendo ND, você fica assim,
É, mas é difícil alguém ficar assistindo ND, é só em lugares específicos, geralmente.
não, sim, mas o V tem um óculos pra assistir ND em qualquer lugar.
Porque ele ganhou, mas acho que não é qualquer um que tem, acho que é só em lugares específicos.
Deve ser tipo um VR, Lucas, um óculos, ou melhor, tipo um óculos, aquele óculos da Apple. Entendeu?
Uhum. Mil. 100. 200. 300. Ixi, será que o passe desse jogo se paga?
Tá dando negativo.
Square it. Here. To me. Back post.
Caraca.
Porra.
I'm on it. Here. Keepers.
Eu tô com um lag estranho agora.
Post. Switch. To me. Pass.
Sem estamina pra chegar.
To me.
O cara tá fechando muito aqui. Ai. Boa.
Cross it.
Trolei.
Meio.
Switch.
Meio.
Post.
Ah, mano, fiquei sem estamina. Boa.
Foi mal.
Joga na parede. Relaxa. Rocket League, joga na parede. Ah,
Foi mal. Primeira vez que eu faço isso. Não sabia
Relaxa.
que ângulo que eu ia jogar.
Cross it. To me. Keepers.
Boa. Cara, eu nem vi que a bola vinha em mim.
Here. Line.
Não, muito estranho. Parece que eu tô lagado, velho.
Cara, não consigo nem dominar a bola.
To me! Pass! Keep to me! Here!
Ai. Mano, lagou aqui.
Lagou pra caralho aqui também.
Nossa.
Ok, boa.
Boa, boa, time.
Valeu, valeu. Dois, três, quatro, cinco, seis, sete, oito, nove, 10. Partida ranqueada contra 5. Alcançou nível 5. You got a nice city, you got a... Ah, não é hoje não. É dia 19 que vai anunciar. Achei que era hoje.
Pelo amor de Deus, é ruim de data mesmo, hein, bicho.
Não, é que eu só vi o anúncio de live, entendeu? Mas não vi o negócio, não.
Bicho, velho, ruim de data.
Eu não vi, que eu só vi o aviso de live.
Now I'm gonna see if I can
Data.
If you're not aware of what Vanilla Plus mods are, they're basically mods that add new features to the game without taking away the vanilla feel. So things like new weapons, armor, animals, or repurposing items that used to be in the game. So I basically have to learn how to play the game again. Like when I'm playing, should I make the normal beetle armor or the new golem armor? I didn't
Lixoso.
know. But speaking of golem or just bosses in general, Vanilla Plus takes bosses to the next level. It takes the old boring AI of Terraria bosses and improves it. Not that there's anything wrong with the old bosses, but these new ones are kind of way cooler.
Che, che, manga de mongólico. ¿Qué onda que van para el otro lado?
He didn't do this last time. Is she pulling up the guitar? Oh, she's playing a tune. But now to actually beat these harder bosses, I have to learn new strategies.
No, pero a mí me pasó hoy lo mismo. Metí un gol a alguien porque cuando se conectó me hizo un lagazo y no pude saltar. Y del otro lado solo.
These are the goals for the video. I'm not gonna stop playing until all of these are completed. And I mean all are completed. So immediately when I loaded in, I already noticed.
Che, no, sos tremendo mongólico, Castas, Entre que robás las pelotas, todavía haces cualquier poronga, boludo. Brazuca retardado.
I noticed my inventory was also different. Wing slot, a boot slot, and a trinket slot. I don't even know what a trinket is. Also, I had a new movement ability. It was like a Goomba stomp straight out of Mario, where I could just step on enemies. That's so sick. Yo, I didn't know the attacking was cool. but not every mechanic was fun. Wait, why am I dying? Dude, he's not even... Oh, it's the cactus. Yeah, cactuses now did damage, which made exploring in early game actually very annoying. I'm an idiot. And because I didn't want to deal with any more cactus, I decided to go to the underground desert. Oh, no, not worms. Okay. So, of course I died, but I stepped back out where I'd find some pretty interesting things. First, I got a pet rooster that I got from taking a quiz. Found some weird UI thing at the top right of my screen. What is this? Came across new traps. What is that? A shimmer trap? Discovered enchanting. Whoa, I already have enchants. I'm about to enchant though, I guess. No. Now, at this point, I'm just kind of overwhelmed. I don't know what any of this stuff does. From the enchanting table to the chicken to the new traps, I don't know. Take me somewhere good. No, okay. And then I died. The one thing I am familiar with is building houses, so I decided to make myself a nice little cozy home. I'm also going to try to actually make the houses look good in this series. I feel like most people who play mods just really focus on the mod aspect and make crummy houses. So hopefully you'll see like some sort of awesome castle in this series. I don't know. Now that we're a bit more situated though, I want to talk about the plan here. In this version of Terraria that I'm playing, there's like thousands of new items and accessories and stuff like that I want. But to actually make any of this stuff, I do need materials. So my first objective is to just go underground and collect everything I can, and then return to the surface and see what I can make with it. But also while we're underground, we're gonna get loot of our own and discover new stuff. I should be able to use this, right? There we go. Hey! Wait, this is actually huge. How is that a trap? This is a gift. Earlier, I said I didn't know what a trinket was. Well, in this first chest, we got one. I think that's a trinket. Hold on, I think I just found a trinket. They seem to be these little items that just improve your stats, so that was really cool. This one I got increased my knockback by 15%. Not terrible, but not the greatest. Also, you'll notice a little green thing following me, and that's because your boy got a mushroom ring from a chest, which is an item that sends out healing every time you kill an enemy. That's actually so good, dude. That's so cool. I accidentally trashed the window like 5 seconds later, so you won't be seeing that again. Anyways, I quickly some demonite and then headed deeper into the cave. Whoa. And these caves are massive. I was finding more new traps. This one cave led me all the way down to hell. It is so dark, I cannot see a thing. I actually took advantage of this cave too and bombed obsidian while I was down here because I figured there's probably some sort of recipe with obsidian in it. I also grabbed some granite before dying to a granite elemental. I took a shimmer trap. Shimmer. Yeah, shimmer trap. I'm out. Found another trinket while I was down here as well. Honestly, I was surprised seeing how good the trinkets were. Like, I don't know if I read this one wrong, but this seems pretty damn good. Did you read it yet? And I should probably be a little bit more careful when I'm in these caves because traps are everywhere. Oh. I decided to expand my base out when I got home because NPCs are not moving in. Alright, boom. And by the way, I wasn't really aware of what items were worth collecting. So I literally went out to collect everything. I farmed for storm sparks, got mushrooms, foul flesh. I mean, heck, I even went up to a sky island to try to farm for harpies. But strangely enough, harpies don't spawn anymore, or at least they didn't on this island. But I still made use of the island by blowing up cloud blocks, just in case they're used for a recipe. I don't know if they're actually useful, but you know. Also explored the snowy tundra, found some more cows, also found the dungeon, before falling into a hole and then farming more rotten flesh, or whatever this stuff is called. And then I returned home to see what I can make. So there wasn't anything particularly insane that I made, but I certainly found some things and made some upgrades just in case. Wait, 70 damage? Is that like a glitch, bro? Is that normal? But I mainly just used this time to give everything I had to the guide and see what it did. That way we actually had like a better direction to move into. I discovered that there was a lot more trinkets in the game than I thought that were all upgradable as well. And I spent like 30 minutes here just giving stuff to the guide actually. Gotta make a harvest just to see what I can make with that. Like I completely lost track of time, dude. Like the second I tried to set myself straight too, I just got distracted immediately again. I need to start mining ores and just like getting actual loot. What about jellyfish? Also, our base fills up with NPCs, including a new NPC I've never seen before. We have a witch in our base, bro. What? I knew I wanted more NPCs. Had reroll enchants. Okay, this is where all the enchants come in. I will take a look at that later. So knowing what I kind of wanted to go for now, I headed back underground. I did see that there was some sort of new gem armor, so I wanted to go for that. And also get some heart crystals and more accessories. And then hopefully we could take on our first buff to boss. Please be good. Whoa! King Slime coming. Oh, dude, not again. Umbrella. Oh, chest. Whoa! That's like a gravitational one. I can do summon. Missing poster. Bruce to spawn retail. At the same time that I was mining though, I also decided to expand my base out for more NPCs because these guys were coming in like crazy. And I also used my gravitational potions to explore the sky. Dude, if I hit someone with this thing midair, their arteries would be taken out. Star Fury, oh. Also, we have cancer. This is attacks you by 7%. It ain't good to have cancer, but like that's kind of cool. What? No, dude. No. Lucky bastard. Also during this time, we got plenty of ores and gems to make the gem helmet and gem leggings. And when I went underground, I could not stop finding chests with trinkets in them. Lucky toe? Like, I was getting severed toes, blindfolds, and even a trinket that teleports me to random locations when I get low. I mean, is that not like the most OP thing in the game? Whoa! Just take a look at how OP this thing really is. Hit me. Oh, okay, it has its downsides. But anyways, all we needed was 2 diamonds, and then we can make the ornate chest piece and have the full ornate gem armor. But my plans to get that were interrupted when a goblin army showed up, and I also spawned King Slime.
Wild, why did you spawn King Slime? The goblins are coming.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Jimmy. It's because in this mod pack, enemies can actually fight each other, including enemy on boss action, as long as the enemies are members of different clans or something like that. So I spawned in King Slime to help me fight the goblins, but I overlooked the fact that enemy spawn rates decrease to near 0 when you spawn a boss in. So I was just left to fight King Slime. Oh, what is he doing? What is happening? He is... Okay. Wait, I can actually kill this dude easy. Hold up. Dude, what's the second phase? Yup. He is actually good-ish, but he has no HP. And there we go. Alright, we were way too overgeared for King Slime, but trust me guys, the bosses get a lot harder. With King Slime defeated though, the goblins
Tô
are now
esperando a
spawning in,
partida
so we had
começar
the
aí.
job of taking those guys out. Let me just clap these guys up then, which was pretty easy considering the Star Fury is extremely buffed in this mod pack, it seems like. And the hardest part about this fight was probably just trying not to kill these cows. Cow, dude, look out, bro. Don't... Yup. He can't be here, man. Yo, get off of Beefy. I saved you. Coming in second place for being the most annoying thing about this event would be my own accessory that kept teleporting me away when I was trying to fight the enemies. Wait, what am I doing? Also got a new weapon from this event. Chaos Bell? Suck it, buddy. Got your own weapon against you. So we made quick work of those guys. And honestly, because we defeated King Slime so quick, I felt like we were ready for the Eye Cthulhu. That's good. Eye Cthulhu summon. I know he has new stages or something like that. Wait, he's already tripping. Whoa! What is that? How is that even allowed in pre-hard mode? Oh, dude. Yo, he is faster than me. Yo, if these lasers hit me, I'm done. Uh-oh. 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 Dude, what is happening up there? That's like a concert's happening. What? Look like the Marshmallow concert from Fortnite, bro. What is happening? Yeah, anyway, so we continue to spam our Star Fury that is way too overpowered for early game. Meanwhile, the Eye Cthulhu just like spam random attacks until we kill him.
Benção, mãe!
And there we go. I actually decided to fight another one right after this too, because he really wasn't that hard. Most of his attacks are just flashy. Yeah, he dropped some interesting drops actually. I checked the crafting recipes, and there are definitely some new things you can make with the Eye Cthulhu drops. A slime shield. I mean, I might as well, you know? Hey, Witch Lady. I also spent the next like 20 minutes just learning how to enchant with the witch. To keep it simple, you basically just put one of these little amplifiers on your sword, level it up, and there's a whole bunch of different amplifiers you can put on it. I think I put mobility and regen on my sword. Oh, you could also enchant your armor, but I didn't know that yet, so I never did that. But speaking of armor, we still only have 2 pieces of armor on. So I spent the next like 30 minutes or so mining silt, fossils, and slush underground, and then extracting it until I finally got diamonds, so I can make that chest piece. I felt like we were as ready as we'd ever be for the worm fight, so I used dynamite to expand the little tunnel out under the corruption, and then I gave it a go. Here we go. I don't know if his AI has been reworked like the other bosses, so I guess we'll find out. I mean, he looks pretty normal to me. Yo, wait, his pieces don't break. What is happening? He's so low, but so am I. Oh, that was just his first phase. Wow. I don't think Eater Worlds was too hard for me at this point. I just think his abilities just kind of caught me off guard. So I decided to try the fight again. What are you doing, dude? Like, pick where you're going. And I did meet basically the same fate I did the first time. I'm 1 HP and I'm on fire. But when I went to return to the biome, I realized he didn't despawn. I found him, so I was able to run back to the corruption, and he came back to fight me. Oh, yeah, he's coming. That was your biggest mistake, buddy. Biggest mistake. Oh, yeah, now it's easy. That After killing him, I checked the recipes to see what I can make, and there's actually some pretty cool stuff. I made a little squire buddy who I thought was a minion, but it turns out he's actually a weapon. Yo, and I just couldn't figure out how to use it. It's kind of cool. But I did make myself a little bomby dude who is just like a straight up summon. Also made an accessory that improves my minion's damage, as well as found out I can now upgrade my enchant. Superior containment for my enchants, although it cost a lot of money. 5 gold, 23 gold. Alright, never mind. Enchants have to come later. I don't know. Anyways, later I went exploring to find a meteor that had landed in my world. All this running, and I still have not found the meatball. I did end up finding it though and mined it up, and then I went to check what I can make. Wait, no, actually. Okay, there it is. So I brought my meteorite bars to the guide, and holy dude, some of these recipes are crazy. There was healing accessories, this thing. Bro, whoa, what am I looking at? 3 potions. That thing, excuse me? Oh, I'm making that. But along with that weapon, I also made a huge new armor set, and we were busted now. Hey, I look really goofy, and my weapon doesn't even work. Well, I thought the star laser thing was a weapon, but it actually wasn't. It turns out it's an accessory. So I smacked that dude on, and now I have, like, a laser attack. All right. So it actually doesn't suck. Now that we had all this new gear, though, I thought it was probably about time we go fight Skeletron, buddy. Now, this first attempt is really just like a test run to get an idea of his new AI and his attack patterns. No arms. Oh, his arms are here. Oh, there was definitely plenty of new things that were different about Skeletron. All right, let's get that hand out of there. Next hand. Wait, my beam. I forgot. I have a giant beam in my back pocket. Okay, that didn't do any damage. Yeah, we have to break his hands first. Should have known. I was keeping up for the most part, until I wasn't. Whoa, bro, stop spinning! But now that we just saw Skeletron, we had a better idea of his skill level and what we had to do to prepare for this fight. So I did some cheeky little turns of the hell and mine some stone up, actually. Yo, obsidian skin potion! Where I would upgrade one of my weapons, make a new summon, a sentry, new accessory, and then return to fight him again. Damage, I need
Sério,
damage now,
Lucas,
break some
é
hands.
muito legal. Ó, deixa eu fazer 2 pincelzinhos.
Alright, hands are required. Yo, why is there another concert? He did not do that last time, dude. He did not do that last time. Why is he doing that? What the hell? Alright, since we had time on our hands now that we just lost the fight, I took this time to improve my base. You might notice I have a couple new NPCs that look a little strange. That's because in this mod pack, when you beat a boss, they turn into NPCs. Kind of cool. They just sell like drops that the boss usually drops, and like a summon item for the boss, which is pretty sick, honestly.
Yo, this place is sick. I should probably get like a crown or something instead of a mushroom, but I was like, there's some peasant in here. No, you can mix some of this in here. You know, they call me an interior designer, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not an interior designer or nothing, but this looks pretty good. I need an axe. I still have a copper axe. Can I get an axe? Axe? There you are. You trying to run on me, bro? Come on now. I'm too cool. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ugh.
11 new housing spaces, all in that one day. Okay, cool. All right, back to the important stuff. All right. No, man, no. What is that? I'm assuming I can't go out there, or it's gonna hurt. Dude, he's getting so lucky. Hands down, hands down. Do not grow a freaking 3rd pair of arms, bro. Please. Come on, bro. Concert. Okay. If we don't move, we're fine. Yo, he wants to hit us into his concert. I think buy a ticket, buddy. Oh, we're eating these attacks. I can heal. Oh, we're full HP. Yes. There we go. Well, I think you guys know where I'm going. So yeah, we killed Skeletron, and he did drop some new things, but none of them really had any use for me. And then I went into the dungeon, of course, where I got the Cobalt Shield, Shadow Key, and a few other interesting things. Skeletal Keychain. Yo, not much has really changed about the dungeon. You know, just same old stuff. Oh, bro, this is like an obstacle course. After I left the dungeon, though, I went to Hell to open a Shadow Chest, which surprisingly had a new weapon inside. Summons a Squire. It was another one of those Squire things, but I actually found out how to use it. You basically just point where you want him to shoot, and then he attacks people for you. It's probably my new best weapon, which means I should probably enchant him.
Can you bless me with something?
Also, I made a couple other accessories and switched to molten armor, and then headed to the jungle thinking I was just gonna kill Queen Bee instantly, but she was actually buffed to the max. What are you doing? Why does she have lasers? Oh hell no! She's a dude. This is Empress of Light. Like, this is a kill streak. But luckily, your boy, I had my Squire, so I was chilling. fight, I ended up wasting the next like hour or so just making random garbage. You know, just stuff like sponges,
Muita
golf carts,
partida
until
cabeça que os
until I
caras
hit hella
decidem não
damage and decided
tocar
to
pra
make some
você.
progress. I think we'll start the bridge right around. Okay, I'll go first way. Yeah, we'll start the bridge around like here. For the wall flesh fight, we're gonna need a long hell bridge. Because I'm assuming this dude is like up to the max. I mean, Queen Bee was, the other bosses were. You know, I didn't know what to expect for the dude, but I assumed he'd just get like 5 times faster. So I made an extremely long bridge, to say the least. Also, you might notice, I got a little Queen Bee summon thing from the Queen Bee boss. She got some weird attacks, man. Yeah, we were just about ready to fight the wall flesh, which I was super excited for because in hard mode we get the new biome, which I think is like the biggest part about this mod pack. Plus, I seen some crafting recipes that require mithril anvils, and let's just say I'm looking forward to making those. Anyways, wall flesh time. I couldn't find a voodoo doll to save my life, so I just hooked this dude up in a nice obsidian house so I could drop it into a tank of lava, and that did the trick. What is that stuff? Can I not go past that? I can't go past that or I take damage, I think. So don't get me wrong, I love my Squire buddy, but his range for this fight was so garbage. Oh, I can't even reach it from this distance, dude. I have to say really close, that sucks. Which is not where you want to be, especially near the wall flesh. That's what he's doing. Oh wait, the middle? Okay, I can't shoot the middle anymore. I gotta learn how to dodge these. Okay, just get hit by it again. Okay, dodge that. We're getting better. Oh, no, come on! I don't know what they keep doing with these lasers. Oh, did he just enrage? He might have just enraged. Yep, he's shooting weird shit at me. Whoa! I'm not good at that.
E roxo não é uma coisa
He's
legal.
throwing potions, bro. Oh, that's Ichor. That stuff is extremely strong. If I get by that, my defense will be like cut in half or something. He's very low. Come on, buddy. He might have like a 3rd stage though. Whoa! I can't get hit by these things, dude. I have a minute before I can heal. Oh, we have to complete the fight without healing. He has crystal shards. He has literal crystal shards, dude. He's actually so low. I need to run though. I need to run for a second. Oh, he has long range. And the crystal shards are placed. Oh, dude, no. Come on. Come on, dude. Oh, I just hit a crystal shard, bro. He's not quick though. He's not quick. You can totally beat him right here. Don't die, please. Why am I in lava? Yo. We did it, bro. Give me that loot. With the wall of flesh taken out, our world was now spun into hard mode, and we were also left with new drops from the wall of flesh. We get Deadly Bone Serpent Staff. That seems like it would be a lot better than our stupid little honey girl. I'm sorry, my bad, but... Hey, it's like a dragon staff. Even harder. Boop. And then we have Shackled Flesh, which I'm assuming lets us craft all the wall flesh stuff. And the wall flesh has arrived, too. Bro, we just got like a whole chunk of meat up here. Grounded beef right here. Alright, guide. Long time no see, buddy Bradley.
You did this to me!
What can I do with this wall flesh stuff? Oh. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna go put my stuff away, and then I want to go check out that new biome. See what it's all about. I don't know. Alright, so make a bed and then go to sleep. I want to see this biome in the morning, when it's nice and bright. Bad news, guys. Sorry for the jump scare. But what happened is the confection tried to spawn in the jungle, and I guess because the jungle biome, it just wasn't allowed to spawn. I don't know, like, so we do have confection in our world, but it's all underground. Don't freak out though, because I actually went to replace the jungle with this biome and plant my own. I sold a bunch of stuff so I could buy dynamite, mined up a bunch of dirt, and made dynamite dirt, or dirt dynamite bombs, or something like that. And then I bought the seeds of the confection and planted them there. So we basically have a confection biome starting to grow now. Already though, confection mobs are starting to spawn. What is that? Yo, we got a creamling. A roller coaster. Roller cookie. Yeah, bro, this place is awesome, actually. It's just like an Easter wonderland, basically. But while the confection was starting to grow and spread, I decided to go underground to find the rest of the confection. Yep, this is the confectionist, looks like. Looks kind of like a hollow. Found you. You sell Dorada Discord? Spent a while down here just exploring things and checking out the new mobs, and these things are basically just straight up taken from a horror movie. Like, we got mobs that look like pillows but try to suffocate you to death. How do I get it off? We got ghost demons, teleporting mobs. So you best believe I died. Oh no. But I knew these mobs would have good drops because, you know, it's the alternate to the hollowed biome. So I set up a nice little area where I could farm these guys. I also drank a battle potion to increase the enemy spawns, and put on a trinket that increases enemy spawns by 10 times. So we were basically playing 30 times spawn rate at this point. Dude, actually get off me. Wait, we have like new items here. Summons Queen Slime. Oh, enchanted saturite. more saturate. And I decided to farm these guys up until I got a whole bunch of drops from them. And then I went home to just see what this stuff can make. And guys, you can make a lot of good stuff with this. Some of these items are just absolutely broken, while others are basically stripped right out of Looney Tunes. There was all sorts of different stuff. Soul Hunter necklace. A cream.
Que foi, pai?
Napoleon. Oh, they got Napoleon in here? Do we have the stuff for that? I need a mithril anvil though. Okay, yeah, if I want to craft anything in hard mode, I need a mithril anvil, so I should go break demon altars for ores. Oh yeah, no way I died, no way I died. Mining for these ores was probably actually like the easiest thing I've ever done in a mod pack. Like each time I mined a large pocket of ore, another large pocket would appear on my screen, and it was just never ending. It was just so easy. Plus, in this mod pack, you mine really quick, you know, quality of life. So the mithril anvil was no problem getting. Boop. And now that we had it, I figured we should probably go get some wings. So using a gravity potion, I just 1v1'd wyverns. Haha. I'm getting a headache. I'm getting nauseous. I'm getting nauseous. And he's actually still gonna kill me. Wasn't too difficult. There we go. And actually, I checked with the guide, and there was a recipe for air in a bag, which is a SpongeBob reference. And I thought maybe like I kind of thought these were like wings in a bag.
Are you dumb?
I think she's dumb.
So I made the thing, and no, it's a meme item. Wait, it doesn't even do anything. It doesn't do anything. Did I just get trolled? Point bag away from home. Plant feet firmly on the ground. Because I made that stupid bag of air. I don't have enough. I mean, by this point, I had way more of a hang of it, so it was fine. Just a little hurdle I had to go over. Ching! And actually, with some of the materials I got from the confection, I was able to make cream wings. Cream wings, boom. It might be because I'm faster in this mod, but these wings were very quick side to side. Wait, dude, I don't think you guys understand how quick I am. Dude, the horizontal speed is crazy. Now, before I did any more gearing up, I wanted to play around and test some new mechanics in this mod pack. And the first thing I was going to do was just test out using mobs to fight battles for me. I just placed down some statues and wired them up, and spawned in the old one's army as my first test. Start up the generator. Wait, they're breaking their crystal? Yeah, I kind of overlooked something massive there. Next, I tested it on the Frost Legion. So, we basically have like a gang war happening now.
Hey, who is Kyle over there? Hey, where's you from?
Unfortunately, the snowman gangsters were a lot stronger than zombies, but it still worked kind of decent. Now, to use the strategy to its fullest potential, I decided to get rid of all other statues except wraith statues because they do the most damage. And then I farmed for a pirate map and spawned in the pirate invasion to see if the strategy actually holds up versus stronger enemies. Other than worrying about the ships and the ghost captains that would attack me when I was AFK, I didn't have to do anything during this invasion except sit around and wait. But now that I knew the strategy worked, I went to the underground desert where I would set up another one of these farms just on a smaller scale and farm up for tattered rags, which is used in a crafting recipe for a pretty good weapon we'll make later. And now you might be thinking, like, is this really worth doing? Like, why don't you just kill the enemies? Well, these guys are actually way stronger than you think. Or I suck, one of the two, because I kept dying a lot. Bro, should I make a different weapon? Like, what the hell? I don't want to be in here, bro. I missed my Star Fury, man. Matter of fact, I didn't even want to set up statues here. I was just going to farm for these things normally, but it was actually so hard I had to rely on doing this strategy. And even with the wraith statues, it wasn't like I was invincible. So yeah, it was
Tá em cima da air fryer.
Tá em cima da...
Finally, bro. The next ingredient required for this weapon I was going to make was a desert shard, which meant I had to fight a sand elemental. And I think I still have that one trinket on that increases enemy spawn rates. Stop nibbling my feet. There were so many mobs. Alright, she's going down now. Sandstorm Scimitar. Boom. It sends out like farts. So after that, I went to reforge the thing and then enchant it, which sent me on a whole side quest to get a better enchanting table. Turns out this whole time we only had a wooden one, which prevents you from putting more enchants on your weapon. By the way, this thing was made out of the most random items ever. Then I enchanted my thing with some critical strike and damage, and I mistakenly went to fight the destroyer. Right, I'm gonna try to fight the destroyer on this night. Why? Well, I have wraiths, so maybe like I can kill him with these. I only have a sword though, so I'll use the sword on the little probes. And hopefully he dies to the wraiths, but I don't know, bro. Let's spawn him in. Whoa, my sword is insane. I'm lagging. I'm lagging so bad. My game. Oh my gosh, my game's not even loading in. No, like what actually just happened? Alright, let me turn that machine off. And then also, I left this on. Let me turn that off. Okay, it's a lot less laggy now. What is he doing though? Sword damage is actually really good though. I fought the destroyer like several different times until I made the realization that I still didn't switch my armor to hard mode armor. So I mined some more adamantite and then I switched to adamantite armor and continued trying to fight him, but I was still getting wrecked. Damn. And it wasn't even because the dude is too good to fight. I was really just running into him constantly. Why do I keep walking into him?
Nossa.
I'm too quick. I'm not used to being this quick. Like I just fly right into him when I'm trying to hit him with my sword. I'm just getting myself killed at this point. What are these green things, bro? Dude, if I had to guess what's going on, I'd have no idea.
Mano, foi mal, eu chupar. Cliquei aqui pra chutar várias vezes, olha. Só que passou direto.
Is that normal? Oh, that's huge for me. What the heck? These guys are getting creative, dude. I'm not a fan of the spider web, dude. The dream catcher, not a fan. Oh, so when I hit him, he explodes. When I hit him. I have a melee weapon, though. Someone is really bad, but hopefully it'll kill him. Because I just gotta run, bro. Can I even afford to hit him? I can't even afford to hit him. Oh, he's dead. I mean, I didn't even kill him, but like, sweet. Napoleonites. Alright, so we get Napoleon when we killed those dudes. Okay, I get it now. When I went to see what the Napoleonite was used for, a solar eclipse happened. A solar eclipse? Dude, why? No. I was worried this event was just gonna completely destroy me. I didn't think I was ready for it at all, especially after the destroyer fight. But I was able to turn on my raids trap and then box my center area in, and the event was basically over now. Surprisingly, the raids were able to keep up with the solar eclipse mobs very well. If you look closely, like some of these mobs are just getting one-tapped even. Also, the fact that raids hover over lava while all the other mobs fall into it is just perfect for this. So did notice I got some new drops from this event. Shotgun. A magic damage shotgun? Oh, some of the Squire. Are we going back to Squires? Oh, this little eye laser. I also got this trident thing which sticks to enemies' heads when you hit them. Pretty cool. But very quickly the event ended and I decided to switch to the mage shotgun. Why? Well, I wanted to use every class in this playthrough, and this shotgun seemed pretty interesting. I've never seen a gun as a mage weapon, so I actually made some mage accessories and then switched my headpiece to a mage helmet. And this thing can hold 3 damage enchants. Each enchant gives 8% more damage, so that's 24% extra damage added to that gun. Absolutely insane. Now though, I wanted to take advantage of the trinkets I've been saving up. Since the very beginning of this playthrough, I have an entire chest full of them. And if you missed it earlier, these things are actually upgradable. All I had to do was bring all these trinkets to the shimmer, where I would throw in my duplicate trinkets. There's some ice cubes in there, some posters, which gave me cracked keys, and then I used those combined with a little bit of gold dust to upgrade trinkets.
Vai trabalhar a bola, time, trabalha a bola.
For 20 seconds with the Is that not like extremely broken? Because I kill enemies every 2 seconds. Like some of these are trolls though. The one that I thought was the best was the golden cancer. Increases attack speed by 10%. It was either that or a trinket that adds like a rage buff and wrath buff to your character. But because I can just buy rage potions and wrath potions, that trinket really wasn't worth it. I also made sure to buy magic potions, which increase mage damage by 20%. And I turned my worm scarf into a mechanical worm scarf. That's a crazy item. Destroyer scarf. Boom. So to test how powerful I really was, I went over to my good old confection biome, set up an arena, and decided to fight Queen Slime. See what this puppy can do. And boy, I was not ready for what was about to occur. Whoa, damn. That was a bit aggressive. Oh, she's gonna teleport, it looks like. No. Oh, dude, my damage is crazy. Okay. I mean, maybe it's just the first phase, though. Yeah, probably. But that wasn't the first phase. She had a new AI, but I didn't even get to see it. We became way too strong. Even after that fight, I went to fight Skeletron Prime. Dude, look at his health.
Oh my gosh.
Killed him, and then spawned the twins the same night. And I steamrolled them. Seriously, when this all happened, I was thinking like, is there any point in continuing this video? I mean, my last 3 fights took less than 20 seconds each. I could probably be Moon Lord at this point. But unfortunately for me, and lucky for you guys, the jungle gets a lot harder. Alright, quick big interruption. I want to talk to y'all for a second. And I got a nice Subway Surfers video for you to watch. I know some of your attention spans, they ain't all there. But I know a lot of you have been asking, is 30 times like season 2 coming? Are you gonna do the challenge again? I will not be doing the challenge again, the same exact challenge, because in my view, it'll just be like the same thing. Yeah, different stuff will happen, but the challenge is exactly the same. There's no learning curve, which will be kind of boring for me. And also, I know you guys think you want it, but when you watch the same thing like twice, it's never the same. However, if I did the challenge but just tweaked it a little bit to make it a little different, I would be willing to redo it, and it would actually be fun for me, and I can make a good video. So it's possible. I basically just stopped you guys in the middle of my video to tell you I don't have an answer for your question. So yeah. If you guys want to comment ideas though that I could do in the 30 times challenge that would make the challenge different, that would be great. So let's get back to the video. I mean, we might as well make the full Napoleon armor setup. Changes flavor based on what helmet is worn. That's crazy. Alright, how goofy would you look if no, this is actually how like gamers look when they take their headsets off. Honestly disgusting. Let me put that away. So a mod we've not really seen yet, but is in this mod pack, is Mountain Journey mod. A mod that adds a bunch of mounts to the game. And I've heard some of these mounts are extremely good, so what I wanted to do is go collect a few of them. This first one is found in the spider biome. Oh, I can't see, bro. Yo, anyone got damn torches, bro? So I farmed there for a bit, and then I died. Oh, no. Went back with torches, though, and I was able to farm up some more until I got the egg of this guy at a quick test. Boom! Oh my gosh, bro. Guys, this thing is insane. Like, can we get some Star Wars music on this? The mount basically attaches to blocks around you, letting you float in midair. It's extremely good at going through tight spaces or up hills, and it's also just really cool. This is sick. And now that we have this, I want to go for my next mount, which is dropped by the Ice Golem. If you don't know though, the Ice Golem can only spawn with a thunderstorm. So this is the part of the video where I get sent on an entire mission to get this one item that lets you change time. You can start rainstorms, thunderstorms, sandstorms, change the time from night and day. Needless to say, an item like this took a lot of grinding for. Took about 2 hours just to get that. Boom. Might notice I also expanded my base out a whole bunch. I added a giant bridge with like markets on it, or that was the idea anyways. Also expanded my arena out. I made out of granite so it would look cool. What we had before was pretty pathetic, I'm not gonna lie. So that was a quick thing. But yeah, all we had to do was farm for ice golems for a bit, so I did that. I'm cooked, I'm cooked. And finally, I got my next mount. Check this bad boy out. Bam! Oh wait, what the hell? Oh, I can activate him for a second and then dash and then deactivate him. Dude, that's so good. So these were the only 2 mounts I wanted to get, but I do have some honorable mentions. First, we got the bird. He's slimy. Notice anything different about me? And then I got this little squirrel one. Oh, hell no. Bro, get me out of here.
Wait, I can't get out? It says permanent?
Both really sick, but they're not going to be useful for me. With the jungle being my next step, I headed there to gather chlorophyte and life fruits. You know, your typical jungle stuff. Alright, so we're down here for chlorophyte and life fruits. Oh, this is... Oh. So I farmed up for a bit, getting 6 or so life fruits and a lot of chlorophyte, which once again is extremely easy because, you know, vein miner, that mod. But while exploring, I came across the jungle temple and a Plantera bulb that was right outside the jungle temple, and I figured we might as well set up an arena, so I did that. Also try to set up some of those like pushy traps in my arena. Boom. Boom. See if that like helps me in the fight. Maybe I could run into it when I'm low or something. It'll push me away. That was the idea. But now I was thinking like, might as well try Plantera. I'm about just ready for this fight, honestly. I mean, I still didn't make glorified armor. I don't have max life. But what's the worst that can happen, right? Whoa. She's already quick. She does not come in slow. Oh, yo, she's opened up and there was like a woman in there. The hell? Dang, okay. Dajos? They don't remove. Nothing to worry about. Nothing too crazy. Alright, I should probably start using these like traps or whatever. Or not. Probably not. Probably definitely not. I'm dead. I'm so dead. I just died. I just died. I just died. Okay, after that fight, I realized we needed a lot bigger of an arena. I mean, this boss was like a Calamity style boss. I've never played Calamity, but I know in Calamity you need some big arenas. The arena took a while to make, but this song carried me through it. Oh. 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 They didn't bother with my little traps this time though. And then I switched to full chlorophyte armor and found a recipe that lets me use life crystals combined with chlorophyte to make more life roots. I used that to get full HP, and then I was ready to fight Plantera again. One thing I didn't mention earlier is I also made a sentry and a new summon, both made out of chlorophyte, so the damage was very good. Oh, we're doing a lot of damage. I also used my sniper that I got from Queen Slime so I could keep my distance. Before too long, she hit her second phase. Oh, she's turning. She just came out! Oh, she's sending her dinosaur thing at me. No, that doesn't even make any sense. Which one do I shoot? Is she pulling up the guitar? Oh, she's playing a tune. What the hell? Okay. What is she doing? What? Oh. Okay. Hey, she didn't drop a key though for the temple, so I hope it's open. No, I mean I have to write a Discord. Yeah, you can teleport in after you beat Plantera. So going into the dungeon, I knew that the Golem boss had been changed, but what I wasn't aware of was that the mobs guarding the dungeon had also been changed. I still can't believe there was a whole woman inside of Plantera there. Whoa, wait. Temple Warden? Oh, he drops ectoplasm. We need that. Wait, there's dudes with axes and stuff. Turns out the deeper you go in the dungeon, the more dungeon wardens spawn too. I'm literally fighting Golem before the Golem fight. The dragon, get me away, get me away! So I died, but when I went back and found an item that lets you teleport directly to the lizard altar, alright, that's actually extremely useful, bro. Which is where you spawn the boss. Not that I was ready, of course. I mean, it would be dumb if I fought him now. What is... Oh, he's crip walking. Why does he look like that? I don't think we could beat him. Turns out this dude is an entire Superman. Like, I don't know why they felt the need to love Gollum that much, but it's honestly sick. And after getting destroyed, instead of preparing more, I just fought him again. You know, just fought him again. That's kind of my thing. And I gotta say, the spider mount really carried me, because Gollum shoots spikes out of walls now, and with the spider mount, you know, I don't actually have to touch the walls. I can just kind of hover around. I mean, bro, this is straight out of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm on the ceiling. I'm on the ceiling. Still died, though. Spider. However, because I had the item that lets me
Caraca, que lag da desgraça,
secondary
velho.
spawn, and Gollum doesn't have time to despawn. Someone's here. He was still there, so the fight continued. And this guy had so many attacks, bro. Like, oh my gosh. Whoa! But we killed him.
Nossa, mano, olha isso, cara.
Alright, his head's dead. Oh, I beat him. Call it playing smart, call it cheating. Either way, he's defeated. So, I actually kind of just like cheated a little bit. But the video must move on.
Bitch, are you dumb? Pardon me?
After the Golem fight, I found out that I can make Golem armor, a new armor set, with just some lizard bricks, power cells, and like fragments. The set is also mage armor, so it was perfect for me to make. It's basically just a slight upgrade from the Chlorophyte one. There's also some other cool stuff you can make, but I didn't bother. My wizard now sells hardcore dungeon items, so I bought myself one of these Spectre staffs and then made my way to the dungeon, where I would just collect ectoplasm and see if there's any new drops I could get. Boy, my armor like does something special. It's like glowing right now. Yo, hit me again, buddy. Oh, I do more damage when I get hit. I killed the paladin down there, killed some other mobs. And then as I went to grab the
Ô, Robert,
item, I got
bota
shot
esse
in the
fone
head.
aí, Robert.
Which
Tá
was our
aberto.
dungeon trip. It was actually a squire, the thing I picked up. I also used paladin's drops to craft a paladin shield for extra defense. And then I went to go fight Empress of Light. That did not make me dodge. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find any mods to buff Empress.
Hey, Mo.
It's just like the normal vanilla Empress, but that was plenty enough to get me killed. No! I don't know how these one-hitters do it, dude. Usually when I play Terraria, I skip Empress of Light, so I'm not really used to her attacks. And I wasn't playing the game when Empress first came out, so I just don't have much experience fighting her. And I think that was pretty obvious. Alright, come on. Who likes this boss? Nobody likes her. Why What I decided to do though was actually spawn a pumpkin moon, because I wanted to get a bunch of spooky wood and switch to summoner. Whoa, that's a lot of dudes. First of all, there's a lot of cool summoning stuff, so I wanted to check that out, but also, it's just way easier to dodge attacks when you have minions fighting for you, and you don't gain as much. So I decided to fight the pumpkin moon, and the spider was amazing for this. I would like to say I thought of this beforehand, but no, it was an accident. The spider can move around my arena perfectly without getting hit, so I was killing mini bosses all day. Hopefully it's kill me. And yeah, the event was basically clapped up. Bam. Bam. Oh, there's a different type of helmet I can make too. I could have more defense and damage, but less minions. I mean, might as well go for it too. And then I bought this TP sentry.
Cara, os caras dribla, pega. Eu não consigo pegar. Os caras dão um drible e não pega a porra da bola,
The thing I needed now was to get a good summon. So I use ectoplasm
Cara,
and illegal
consegue
gun parts
topar.
to make a gun summon. I hope this weapon is good. What is it doing?
Opa.
Does this thing suck, dude? Yeah, the gun was active, so I had to go get a different summon. And I'm actually glad I did because there was a new summon from the dungeon, and it seemed pretty damn good. So I went to play Empress Light again, finally. And a massive downside to the summon is that they despawn as you use them. Like, I guess once each summon does a certain amount of damage, they just despawn. So I did have to keep respawning them during the fight, but the damage is pretty good, so I think it was all worth it, and it kind of balances out the weapon. But anyways, Empress Light goes down like a boss. And with her dead, I was rewarded with a new beautiful outfit. Then I expanded my base out for the final time. We still had plenty of bosses that had not moved in yet, so I wanted to make sure they all had homes just in case they sold anything useful to me. Oh yeah, and this guy is a little squire. The damage is insane on this. I mean, it's only one more than other one, but same thing. Anyway, with this minion, there should be plenty enough to kill the occultist, so I went there to kill him. Wait, where's the dude? At first, I couldn't find, like, the cultist people. I guess they just got up and left. But I found a dude chilling in a hole, and I murdered him. And that's about the boss, so we were chilling. Hello, why do you look like that? Now, this little guy right here has many attacks, most of which do the most damage when you're close to him. You know, when you're far away, it's very hard for any of these attacks to really hit you. And lucky for me, I mean, his range is basically infinite, and the new square gun has so far. So this guy wasn't too much of a problem. There was the dragon. Seems to have gotten revamped. Yo, I hate this guy. And then he had these skull things, but they didn't touch me, and we killed him. From killing him, I got a pretty cool item. What it does is it basically decreases your health by 20%, but then buffs your damage and critical strike chance. Always remember that power has a price. I'll use it. I don't really know if it was worth it, but you know, it's a new item. Of course, killing him means the alien pillars don't spawn in our world, but these ain't your normal alien pillars no more. Not only do they all look all funky now, I mean, we got a crab claw, bubbles, an alien Gajussi. Every single pillar has been increased, and the IQ of the enemies. What that means is they're no longer shooting directly at you, and they're actually shooting where you're going. Jeez, bro, they're tracking me down, dude. They got hunters on my ass. Now this is incredible. Oh, when you kill them, they actually drop the fragments. You don't even gotta beat the fucking pillars. Can't that be like abused though? So I spent a while here killing many of these guys for their drops, and then eventually killing the pillar as well.
I do want some materials.
Do that. Alright, finally. With the drops, I made a dart gun, a bow that shoots a huge amount of arrows, and then what I thought was some sort of kill streak, I was in a vortexing gunship to your location, but ended up being the map. Okay, this is sick. With these three things in my possession, I was ready to take out all the other alien pillars. Nope. Today. Easy peasy. Damn wizards, bro. The Stardust pillar is the last pillar, by far the easiest. Damn! I hear how that looks. And as the alien Bagushi goes down, Moonlord spawns in. Now this Moonlord has all the same attacks as the vanilla one, except he can predict your movements just like the other aliens. So to dodge him, I kind of gotta wiggle around and jump all over the place. Meanwhile, I spam my bow and just hope it hits something. Can you get your tongue off me, big boy? Look like a Halo alien, bro. Wait, I'm one tap? This item that reduces my life by 20% is probably not the way to go. You just take that off. So I knew taking that accessory off alone was not going to win me this fight, so I crafted a vortex sniper and then visited my witch.
Oh, hello, darling. I'm making a fresh stew.
I come to you for help.
My sneaky link. And here I was doing some illegal devious business. From beating all the pillars earlier, we had gained so much XP. All I need to do is buy some containers to hold it. Then I could add it to my character. So I crafted just about 1 million damage enchants, added the max amount to my weapon, and then all my armor. And then I added it to all my accessories. So we are fully enchanted now. And I have a feeling this fight's gonna go well. Oh, my damage is crazy. You know, let's go visit the nurse if we can. I'll probably eradicate all the villagers, but it's all good. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, the eyeball's out. We just gotta get his forehead. Damn. I kinda thought that was the fight. So regardless of our relentless pursuit and trying to upgrade ourselves, nothing was working. But I was determined. I'm not called the best Terraria player in the world for nothing. Yeah, I was gonna fight back with sheer willpower alone. But I also crafted a mount that can turn into a rocket ship, which would also help me. Yeah, this mount was completely busted. I'm not sure why it's available pre-Moonlord. But with this thing, Moonlord couldn't even catch up to me at all. Even with his teleport ability, I could just dash back the other way, and I was gone. His tongue couldn't reach me, his laser couldn't touch me. So my sniper had all the time in the world to do the damage, and we beat him. From killing him, I got Nova fragments, and I was actually able to make Nova armor, which is the new endgame set. And with this armor, I actually fought him again, and it's pretty good. I killed him in a total of a nice 5 seconds. But anyways, guys, if you have the ability to put Vanilla Plus mods on Terraria, I would do so. Especially if you're getting tired of the normal game, it can really make the game feel new again. Going into this, I actually did take a huge break from Terraria. If you look at my channel, I did not post Terraria for a few months, couple months, and that was honestly because I was getting kind of bored of the game. But this experience showed me that Terraria can really be any game, with mods, at least. So yeah, thanks for watching, and you should check out my other content.
To me! Cross it!
I am on a journey to complete hardcore master mode with 30 times
Good
enemy
job.
spawn rates. Yeah, it looks a little difficult, but I'm like the best player in the game, so it should be pretty easy. Oh my god, 192 enemies nearby. Ah, which is hippie? Whoa! Dude, worms, bro. Spawns cover every single visible block. I don't know how I'm still alive. Whoa! Any minute now I'm dead, dude. Whoa! Last time we learned that 30 times the amount of slimes at the start is no joke. So if we're gonna survive, we're gonna need some sort of shelter. Trees are so small, dude. This is not good. We need to get walls up like right
Não sei se
away.
é porque eu tô realmente conseguindo
Okay,
setar.
one's over.
Porque antes eu não consegui, mas...
Ooh, we stopped him, we stopped him. Oh, the freaking
Mas agora você tá sempre quando eu tô precisando.
Alright, this is kind of bad, but we got a nice space. Guide, you gonna be okay, man? Garrett, dude, do something. I am trying. I can help you, But there we go. To get started, I tried to make a fortress, but I ran out of wood very quickly, and I spotted tall trees to my right, so I began to bridge over when I had a close encounter.
Sabe, Lucas?
After getting the wood,
Vila?
my base, but slime spawned inside of it, and
Você não joga muito Minecraft, melhor, você não joga muito.
Uhum.
Mas quando você joga, como você gosta de jogar?
Eu gosto de minerar e pegar meu diamante que tá no jogo rápido.
Eu tenho um jeito específico de jogar que eu gosto muito, que é... Eu gosto de ser nômade.
É, eu já vi. Tá indo de vila em vila, de vila em
Eu não
vila.
saio dando.
Vai, chega na vila, pega tudo, destrói tudo e vai embora. Eu gosto de ficar paradinho. Eu gosto de ficar pra fazer a basezinha lá quietinha e ir embora.
Você não consegue automatizar nada, é tudo manual. Não tem nada que você consiga automatizar de novo.
Because slimes aren't able to travel through platforms, I could just sit here all day killing them without a care in the world. Although I felt safe, Levi definitely did not. What? He was freaking out. Once it becomes night, I'd have to stop doing this because zombies can get in. So I took advantage of this all day. This is great. Before digging underground and starting my base, I want to expand my base downwards. Like last time I lived on the surface, I think living underground is going to be pretty cool. It's not necessarily required, but I think it's definitely kind of immerses you in the challenge a bit. I continued building my base as the sun began to set, and we would have to survive our first night. But during that night, something happened that I couldn't have foreseen. That way, hopefully tomorrow morning we can grab the wood. But for now... Wait, what? Huh? We died to a glitch. What just happened? Bro, I gotta watch that back. What? Wait, there's another... Are they falling through the ground? What? Now, I want to say things went better for my next run, but not so much. Let's take a look. So at spawn, I didn't really get the trees I was looking for, so I had to go off to the left to get my trees, and at this point, everything was just going wrong. Ain't got time for that tree. Ended up running into a cave and relogging before dying. Eventually, I got a little spot set up where I began the first phase of this challenge, which was to kill slimes. I will have you guys jump right up here, if you don't mind. It ain't the prettiest, but it definitely works very, very well. I ended up expanding out, making 2 rooms. Now, this run is looking promising. But that's when the merchant decided to show up at the start of night. Oh, the merchant's finally here? Dude, it's night, which caused all sorts of problems. Oh wait, but basically I had to relog, and when I did, a zombie spawned in my house, which actually wasn't even the problem. The NPCs took them out. It was after, when I tried to farm the zombies, that stuff went wrong. A single hole here, where I should just be able to throw shuriken. This is perfect, we can get the loot. It looks like I'll be doing this, he glitched through, dude, he glitched. Oh my god. I'm just imagining this is you guys every time I die and I have to restart. But don't worry guys, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Okay? It's about the journey. And in this next run, I was gonna go further than I've ever gone before. So I first chopped down trees and set up a nice little parameter. And for my last run, I realized I could relog despawning the enemies, which would give me extra time to collect the wood I needed to build this first contraption. I trapped the guide and started setting up little funnels up to a top area, and then added platforms so slimes could jump up. That way I could funnel all the slimes to the center while I would AFK and kill them. And this design would later be known as the Sliminator 3000 and would generate me all the goodies I was gonna need to progress safely in this challenge. Now, you might be wondering, Wild, what can you actually get from slimes that's useful? And you would actually be surprised. You could get a lot of stuff. Potions, ores, bombs, even a summon weapon. In the last episode, we learned that exploring or mining underground is extremely dangerous. So my goal is to get a bunch of potions and ore to make armor, so I could actually explore and get better loot. After day was over, I was left with just the pinkies, and my little short sword couldn't reach them, so I had to use my pickaxe for those guys. As zombies and eyeballs covered everything I could see, I continued to chip away at the pinkies, 1 damage at a time, before running into my first problem. See if we can craft anything tonight. A fishing rod? That would be interesting. Whoa, why is there an eyeball in here? Luckily, a single block kept him back, and during the morning, I broke a couple blocks to release him. Get out of here. Scram. During day 2, I farmed up all 3 types of slime banners. Hey, purple slime banner, dude. Which allowed us to kill the slimes faster, therefore getting us more loot. Finally, dude. Oh, so much better. And by the way, in every other run, I would die close to the beginning because of a stupid mistake. So to prevent that from happening again, I was just gonna kill slimes. If doing anything else would get me killed, then I wouldn't do anything else. However, when the day ended, I did mine underground and tried to start my base up. Alright, I'm going far underground so these mobs do not glitch through the floor. Hopefully, if I just keep it a little bit thicker, they can't get through. Sorry, guide, but need to get some space dug out. So I would just kill slimes during the day, and then during the night, I would work on my base. And good news, it seems like the double layer of dirt I had stopped the mobs from being able to fall through, so that was great. Now, you might notice I look a little different, and that was because I went to relog to despawn some enemies when my game glitched, and I technically double-clicked, I guess, putting me in a hard mode world. Oh shoot, this is the wrong, yeah, I logged onto the wrong world, where I died to a pirate invasion. Oh no. So I just made a new character and gave myself all the stuff I already had, and there's the proof. So yeah, we look a little different, but good is new, and I continued on killing. By day 4, I decided to take a break from killing slimes, as it was very mentally draining. Iron ore. No, where are you going? No. And I decided to work on more important things. Alright, I think it's time we start getting some NPCs. Dude, this place is overgrown, dude. Get out of here. I had to cherish my houses to make them valid. Collected up the merchant. I get in. Block that off. There we go. Who sold me my first bit of armor, an anvil, and some shurikens. Here we go. Upgrades, which made farming so much faster. Oh, dude, we're up to 77 gold. I then mined the stone beneath my base to create a furnace to smelt up all the ores we've been collecting the past 4 days. Well, 5 platinum, 2 tungsten, 12 iron, and 22 tin, dude, which allowed us to make a tin chest piece. There we go. And then mined out an area and made more NPC housing before a thunderstorm happened and the demolitionist showed up. All right, demolitionist, I'm coming, buddy. Come on, get in. Square it. He walked over me. Demolitionist, dude. Alright, I'll leave it open for you, buddy. because the demolitionist was being stubborn, instead I decided to buy a bug net and make use of the rainstorm and collect worms just in case I wanted to go fishing soon. Teleportation potion, okay. But once he was in the base, I decided to buy bombs. What's up, bomby dude? And start exploring the underground. As I descended lower, almost instantly I was met with harder mobs. No, that I didn't really expect to see. But luckily I just captured this dude up like it was some Pokemon shit. Oh, did I just capture him? Oh, I picked him up. But his friend almost got me. Oh, he almost made that jump. Luckily I was able to stand the rope and just throw bombs, so I was mostly able to stay out of trouble. It's so real bad, dude. You need to be careful. And then I heard a worm, and a worm is spawning. Yup, nope, that was it for me. So I went back up to prepare a little bit more. I restocked on shuriken, rope, and even bought grenades to hopefully take out some enemies easier. And headed back down. The gnome! Jeez, bro. Patched up the sidewalls to avoid any more mobs jumping on me. Lit the area up a little bit, nothing to worry about, guys. And killed mobs in my path as I went down. But mobs are spawning above me. Oh, there's a slime above us, which was definitely a problem. But there wasn't really much I could do about it. So I popped some potions and continued on. So this water's perfect for fishing. Oh, they're trying to swim up. When I took damage from a red slime and I tried to heal, but I accidentally buffed, and I spotted a chest. A chest? Seeing as the only loot we had was some slimes, this chest could be massive for us. But dude, let me tell you, the mob spawns did not make it easy. I mean, these guys were spawning out of nowhere, and I was fighting like 3 worms at once. It's so dangerous to me. But I eventually decided to recall to the surface to despawn the mobs, hoping I could get to the chest before they would spawn. These worms gotta chill, bro. Just loot the chest. Hermes boots, yes. Hermes boots. Not bad. But the thing I was more excited about was all the water. And now we can go fishing. And then actually, pause. We talk about how many mobs are on my screen right now. Like, this is just my bombing not an option. So I bombed out an area while battling mobs. How does the worm get that big and why is he trying to kill me?
Por que meu pai não tá querendo tomar banho? É a mesma coisa de não tá querendo, só com outras palavras. Deve ser.
You know, this is the first time where I feel like I can actually relax in this challenge. Like, with all the mob spawns, I've always had to be ready for something at all times. Because even the smallest thing I overlooked would get me killed. But now it's just me and my rod. It's actually kind of nice. But I am bored as fuck, dude. Like, damn, getting loot has to be this boring? Oh, fuck. Yeah. I'm also playing Clash of Clans, you know, to pass the time. You didn't have to cut me off. Woo, 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 woo. I had to find a way to do that no one used. Hey.
My bad.
Dude, we got so much stuff, but it's all like random accessories, junk, garbage. I'm looking for ores. I need ores so I can make armor. And once I have that armor, hopefully we can go explore the rest of the underground here. But it looks like I'm gonna have to do a lot more fishing here. So I guess I will be back when I'm ready.
So Mr. Lamau continued on fishing for what felt like many long and hard days, opening crates as he went. Helgi has me trapped in his basement and I need help.
How do I hold this stuff? Dude.
Ô, Clutch, seu filho da puta!
I have a lot of ores. I'm gonna get some lead boots. Cool. And then that's all I really do. You serious? So total we only have 8 defense, but combined with an iron skin potion, we got 16. We also have a full set of accessories now, so I assumed we were ready. So I buffed up, popped my last explosion potion, and headed down. I found a new area to bomb down, which offered me some platinum and also led me to an open cave. And what just hit me? Boom! Boom! Bro, this is why I don't play the game zoomed out, bro. I don't know how I'm still alive. I didn't even see the dude until it was one time. 8 minutes now I'm dead, dude. Another little slip up like that, I'm gone. So yeah, at this point the reality really set in for me. I'm gonna go mining, it's gonna be like this. Using splinter potions and digging ore to ore. To craft potions I needed glass, so I went exploring using my platinum bottle and Hermes boots to avoid enemies until I came across a desert where I could collect sand for bottles. Dude, if I break one wrong block, I am dead. So I got the sand and then I realized I didn't even have the ingredients to craft splinter potions. So I went back to killing slimes for the potions. But it is the week of Christmas, so not only was I going to get splinter potions, but I was also going to get over 100 presents that I could open for gifts. Okay, we're full on space. Ooh, had to go fast there. We got a gun. sure my entrance to the mine was safe, and I'll block off either side, and then I fill the background canopy wall to avoid worms from spawning, which kind of triggers some sort of OCD for me. I'm sorry, but I can't, dude. I have to. And I ended up changing everything to candy cane. But with that out of the way, we can now start the process of mining. Blaze as I walk. Oh, I know worms spawning. Oh, God. Go. I first bombed out an area and then tediously made my way down, making sure I stayed in the background wall so no worms could spawn, making things safe as I went. And as you can see, I left for a second and a mob already spawned, which is why we have to be so careful and play so tediously in this stupid challenge, which is also really fun. So far, going good. And then I popped my spunker potion and spotted a whole bunch of good ore. Ooh, we got some good ores down there. So I finished mining up the platinum and made my way over. I got a little lazy with the background wall, and a worm reminded me very quickly why I needed it. One's come from the side, I think. Yep. I gotta make sure this walls. And while we were mining, this little guy showed up. Oh, a pixie. Which, if you didn't know, if you follow a fairy, it'll always take you to either a heart crystal or a chest, which is exactly what we need. Fuck off. I ain't following you, buddy. I got stuff to mine. Oh, alright, so the fairy despawned to accidentally recalled away, but last time I saw him, he was moving left, so I went in that direction, and there it was, a heart crystal. But getting over there wasn't necessarily going to be easy. And it didn't help that halfway through, my buffs ran out. Which basically turned the game into a horror game. I don't like any part of this. What the fuck? But I was able to bridge over, and I remembered roughly where the heart crystal was, so I dug in that direction, and we got it. Yo, give me that, baby! First life crystal of this entire, like, 30 times enemy spawn rate challenge. And the first of many. Here we go. Not feeling confident yet. I think if we get, like, 7 more, my confidence will gain, but definitely gonna take a while. So when I try to start mining here, something really funny happened, actually. There were so many bats spawning that I couldn't build. Bro, there's no way. Like, I couldn't place blocks. And on top of that, this happened. Oh, get my minions flipping on me. Get rid of you, dude. Get the hell out of here. But yeah, we literally got stuck, and I was forced to go around until I accidentally recalled, that is. Oh, but upon returning, we found a mushroom biome. We got a mushroom biome, it looks like, which are usually known for having really good loot. I mean, even a fairy appeared. But the mob spawns were going crazy. Unlike anything I've seen in this challenge so far. Didn't know I was playing 100 times enemy spawn rates. Yep, we got a fairy trying to lead us somewhere. Alright, well, let's try to bridge over, but we'll probably die. So immediately, bats blocked me from building, but luckily I could just wiggle my mouse until the block took place. Get in there! But unfortunately, we couldn't dodge these guys. Get out of here! Fucking jerk. Now, at this point, there were so many mobs that I knew the spawn cap had to be filled, so I was able to stop using background walls, as the game wasn't even able to spawn more enemies, and we got another heart crystal. Second life crystal. Now, at this point, bro, I'm just playing like a rat. I'm just digging through, tunneling, looking for stuff. Hopefully, there's no mouse traps in here. And I ended up finding 2 more heart crystals, which I was able to dig to and get. We also found big patches of silver ore, which I mined all of, which is great because we already had silver boots from earlier. So we'd probably be able to make a full set of silver armor. But mining is not as safe as you think. Mobs are able to spawn in my tunnel, and combine that with the worm spawn, that things can get scary. And I'm constantly 1 block breaking away from dying at all times. Oh. This stuff is not as free as you think, trust me. I followed a fairy, so it would be my 5th heart crystal, and then returned home because I was out of splunker potions, made some silver armor, and then popped in bed while I thought about a very important decision that I was going to need to make. So right now I have 9 hearts and 1 heart in my inventory. Now if the player receives 10 hearts, there is a small chance that every morning a goblin invasion will spawn, and every night that I can Cthulhu might spawn. So I shouldn't pop this heart crystal, right? But not using it means I have to go underground and get 10 more heart crystals with 30 times the amount of enemies, and I only have 9 hearts. So do we take the risk and pop the heart crystal, or save it and potentially die in the process? Let's see what I decide. I don't know, dude. Like, if we pop this, it can be in some real danger. But also, like, one little mistake underground, and I might be dead. Fuck it. No, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I have at least like 5 more, and then I will. I think that's a good idea. What do you think?
So Mr. Lamau found himself underground as he encountered more enemies. Mon's far more powerful than he was in numbers and in strength because he's a
Tô
little
com dificuldade pra cruzar, velho.
But in all seriousness, things
Pelo
went
mouse.
pretty well. The higher enemy spawn rates actually made fairies spawn more often too, so finding heart crystals wasn't a problem. It was almost too much not a problem. Oh wow, thanks buddy, didn't see that one. I know, I'm trying to build. Although we had a moment that was scary, things went well, and we returned home with 8 life crystals, which I ate, putting us at 340 HP. But now we were gonna need an arena, which I decided to make out of minecart tracks because enemies can't spawn them. In building this minecart track means this is the first time we're really leaving the base and exploring the outside world. So at this point we've been on our character for almost 6 hours, and guys, we are doing good. And I think it's time to cut this part off here, get the video out by Christmas, and I'll have the next part out sometime soon. But wait, don't click off the video yet. We now have our own mod for this challenge. You can find it in the Steam Workshop or in the description. It's called Wild's 30 Times Mobs. Shout out to Moo for making this for me. And actually Moo's mini-map mod works perfect for this challenge. I think we're gonna use it from here on out, so go ahead and check that out. But yeah.
To me!
I am on a journey to complete hardcore master mode with 30 times enemy spawn rates. And in this part of our 3-part series, things didn't go exactly how I thought they would, to say the least. Oh, they spawn instantly. Alright, I need you guys to relax. The bats are carrying me across the jungle. Last episode, we explored the underground and came up with 12 heart crystals. Pretty good if you ask me. So now it's time to move on to the next phase of this challenge, the corruption. There are many things the corruption can offer, but there's one thing in particular that should be pretty easy to get in this challenge. With so many...
Essa bolinha minha mira?
In this video, I am going to be sculpting monsters we all know, but from memory. I haven't seen any of these since I last watched the movies they're from, which in most cases is decades. All right, monster number 1, the pocket monster Ditto. Nailed it. I only did that to trick you. I'm actually going to be sculpting these in virtual reality because, well, it's much quicker and more fine-tuned, and I can 3D. Okay, this is ShapeLab VR, which, I mean, from the imagery of the website and program itself, it's sort of extra adept at sculpting monsters, which I don't have from experience because the last time I was in here, I sculpted this guy, and this guy, and oh my god. And it's really fun. I wanted to do it. The first monster I will be doing from memory is not Ditto, but is Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I haven't seen that movie in a criminally long time, but I feel like it's a pretty gentle place to start. Oogie Boogie, big boy. He's just a big sack, right? Oh, I'm not doing this with symmetry on. Nah, sorry, I don't need to for the first one. I'm just noticing the bottom pixels. I mean, I feel like I'm already getting an Oogie Boogie vibe. He's a sack, right? Like, he's just a big sack. Look at my little feet poking out here. Have I gone too... I think I've gone too far. Now he's just 90% belly. Alright, let's wind him back. Sorry, it all comes down to the face, which is really going to be hollowed out. I mean, I don't know if I'm getting any closer. This might be one where the paint job will rescue it. I feel like he's got one of these sort of like Halloween jack-o'-lantern type faces. I don't remember anything about him.
Except that he talks a little bit like this.
Does he? Maybe.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
Jack Skellington, very charismaous.
I mean, you know, this isn't bad. I just don't know if it's good. This is our warm-up, let's face it. He definitely has like half Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to play carve texture. Maybe I've gone overboard with the texture. That's okay. We'll dial a little bit back in the next step. Because what I'm going to do is grab this crease tool and have it pop out a little bit of red and run along the seams for our oogie boogie sack. Look at that bite! Oh my god, what have I done?
To me! Pass! Here!
Look, this isn't my strongest performance. It's my warm up, but it's alright. It's not very. Honestly, guys, I don't think I can improve him a lot more, but this is my first one, so let's throw him on the 3D printer and see if really I nailed it. Now, I'm not going to be trying to do monsters from memory by myself. Murray's going to be doing it too, which means if you get the colours wrong, I can share the blame. First thing you need to do is let me know who you think it is, so I can see how I did.
Guess who as well, alright?
And then we need to see if we can both remember the colours before you take it.
You shifting more responsibility than me. Can I remember your colours?
Okay, you ready?
I'm so ready. Boogie boogie!
Okay, cool. Yay!
Hell yeah!
Success!
Oh, I like the bump.
Yeah. So you like how I did a drainage hole right there in the middle?
Nice. It's been so long since I've seen it, then this has now sort of overridden any memory I had.
know,
Like,
right?
yeah, this is him!
Yeah, at least this is an easy one to start off with colour, right?
Yes.
See how you go?
Yeah!
Good luck.
Really appreciate the amount of texture you put on this. It makes it a lot easier.
It was a one-step texture.
It's all dry brushing.
All dry brushing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he's just like one colour, right? That's sort of like...
It's a sandbag.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
the sandbag.
Hessian sack.
But I remember from the movies, like there's a lot of like heavy atmosphere lighting and such.
Yeah, it was like he was the recipient of all the dramatic lighting on him.
Yeah.
So it was like that sort of mid-tone desaturated, like he's really good at receiving colour. Whereas I think the actual character, from memory...
I think he's a bit bland as is. But yeah, I sort of went for that sort of moody, muddy, he's got some like browns and greens in him. And he sort of ended up like this.
I think he looks great. I think if someone gave him to me, I'd be like, I have no... Like, that's...
This is exactly what he looks like in my mind. I can't wait to see how wrong both of us are. You've given me half the colour. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's pretty good.
I think that was a stunning success.
Nailed it. And everything else will be just as precise, I'm sure.
We're going to ramp up the difficulty level. Okay, next up, the Hydra from Disney's Hercules. I feel like the nose must have been like really thin, or was it like wide? That's why it's a challenge. There was something about its eyes that was super like memorable, apparently. I just can't remember it. Ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. I remember bigger lower jaw, like teeth that sort of stick out like that. What the f is this? I love you, you love me. This is just a giant dinosaur. What's the Hydra look like? Not this. Spikes coming out of my head. This is just a weird dinosaur. I don't know what I'm doing.
Nossa senhora, eu tô devendo um monte de coisa pra um monte de gente se envolvendo na nossa supato. Nossa, que
Keep us.
I feel like this is closer. Doing something. Yes, I'm getting somewhere. Okay. I actually feel pretty good about this head foundation. And I'm going to have a few heads because it's the height, which is why I have separated the lower jaw. Exactly. A little bit of that. And as you can guess, it's just a matter of finalizing the details of my head, then duplicating them, reposing them, and connecting them all by by 3 long snaking necks into 1. Oh, sorry to interrupt your very satisfying montage, but I have a little announcement for the Brits among you. I'm actually going to be in England in a couple of weeks. Specifically, I'm going to be attending Makers Central in Birmingham, which is happening on the 17th and 18th. Tickets are still available, so if you want to come see me and say hi, I'm going to be doing a talk on how to make anything and everything all at once. And I'm even going to be doing a fireside chat with Bobby Duke Arts on the Sunday. So I'm really pumped to go there and can't wait to see some of you if you've got your tickets, and if you haven't and you're nearby, it's in Birmingham, 17th and 18th. We are well overdue for a catch up, and I look forward to seeing you there. All right, back to virtual reality. Now, it may not be perfect or exactly what I remember, but this is closer than I thought I would get, especially at the start of doing this one. So now it's a matter of 3D printing and handing it over to Murray to see if he can guess who it is and paint them just like he remembers. Monster number 2.
Ooh! Hey, is that the Hydra from Hercules?
Yes.
I knew my boy.
Okay. Cool.
I think their jaws are a bit more square, but the eyes look really good, particularly with the brows. I feel like they're on point, but they're coloured really dark black, as in like a lot of shading around them.
Okay, yes, you're right. Yeah, because the eyes themselves I remember as yellow.
I think they were like quite a vibrant purple and then like a dark purple, almost black spines. Going purely off memory. One of my favourite things, and if I get it wrong, I'll cry.
Well, I believe you can go the distance, so
yay! So this one is personally important to me, because this is one of my favourite movies, and if I get it wrong, I'll be traumatised.
Yeah.
But I just remember basically really dramatic lighting, which one for the mood, and two to sort of hide any imperfections with, like, it was like early Disney CGI for this as well.
Yeah.
So I went for really smooth colours with airbrushing, sort of to get that feel. And I feel that there is acid green on him somewhere. I don't know if it was his tongue or like
eyes,
spit.
maybe? Was it his eyes?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's one of those 3 areas. It's the mouth or the eyes.
The airbrushing looks really cool, and it definitely helps to capture that sort of early 3D vibe that Disney had in the Hercules.
Yeah, I thought it worked really well. I was really happy with that.
There's something we're not hitting, and I don't know what it is. And I mean both in colour and character. I feel like the faces are more like eels in Little Mermaid.
Oh, yeah, the more eels. Yeah.
With that said, let's give ourselves a little round of applause, because this is cool. Oh, whoa.
Oh, wow.
They're like way more caricatureful in the face, like the mouth.
The mouth just wraps around. It doesn't stop. It's just teeth.
The eyes are like orange red.
I couldn't remember if like the eyes were actually like, you know, the black sclera or something, but I thought, no, they need to be lit somehow. I don't feel too bad about that.
Well, it's a freaking cool result.
Yeah.
The model looks good. We did a good job. The next monster I have not seen in a very long time that I'm going to be trying to sculpt is the Rancor. This is the big beastie thing from Return of the Jedi. I don't know. Let's go. I thought that I should download an STL of the animal that I thought most reminded me of the Rancor, the Bulldog. You know, gives me a starting point. We're gonna make some massive changes right off the bat. Get rid of the ears. I don't remember any Rancor ears being a thing. I'm gonna say glossy. Whatever material it's automatically assigned is like sort of unnerving me. As I recall, Rancor is wide. I'm gonna take these arms and go, ooh, there we go. Boom. Until he doesn't look like a bulldog at all, he's just gonna look like a weirder and weirder bulldog. I really actually don't know what the Rancor looks like. So everything from here, sort of just guessing. Pretty sure the face is like bigger and wider than I sort of have got here at the moment. And there's like a lot of teeth. I'm getting vibes. From this. Eyes, maybe they're like beady and round or something, but they're also quite berry from memory. I mean, all monsters have brows. It's how they look angry. genuinely curious, let me know in the comments, like, does this remind you of the Rancor if you haven't seen it recently? You know what I mean? Like, off the top of your head, if you saw this, would you be like, oh, that's from Star Wars, like, that's in the fighting kit thing, right? Let me know. No. But this is feeling pretty cool regardless if it's accurate or not. With the anatomy coming together, this thing is looking really big sleek and really cool. So now it's just a matter of really sort of cutting in the edges and adding some skin folds and sharper details and musculature before finally, at the end, I can add touches of details and flesh, which is really nice. You ready? Number 3.
Oh, this reminds me of like one of the things from like Doom 3 or something.
What else comes to mind?
Big, angry dog. Is this one of the monsters from Star Wars Episode 2 from the arena?
To me? Yeah, that's what it's meant to be.
Oh, Rancor.
Rancor?
Oh, that's Episode 6. Not Episode 2, Rancor.
Oh, Rancor. Wait, did I sculpt the wrong thing? I sculpted the wrong thing. It just said Rancor and I just had to try and... I can't Google it. What's a Rancor?
You're actually not too far off.
Of the Rancor?
It's just standing up on 2 legs. It's about the same otherwise.
Wait, is the Rancor the one that he sleeps in?
No, that's a Tauntaun.
Oh my god!
Rancor,
What?
you know when he visits Jabba the Hutt and he drops him into the pit?
That's a...
And there's the big monster down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Rancor.
That's what I thought I was doing.
Hey!
That's actually what I thought I was doing.
Good save. That's on camera.
But I pictured like a bulldog, but maybe that's just because he was crushed. So just imagine, maybe this is an accurate sculpt if we just put like a steel gate onto his neck there.
Yeah, it is. I'm still impressed.
Okay. I've lost all confidence in how I've done with this one.
I think you have the sort of musculature, all the muscles, and a lot of like
Just
folding.
like swollen.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's sort of like someone was skinned and then basically painted like sandstone, I think.
And you airbrushed this one, mostly that sort of sandy building up to those highlights. It's those sharp little punches that look the nicest though. Like those
Yeah, the finishing touches.
bone teeth and claws and stuff. It's so cool. This looks cool in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
If I showed you this, like, wait, none of this ever happened. Hey, what's this from?
Not Star Wars.
So close. Totally different species.
It's a lot darker. I think you'll find I painted according to the appearance of the Rancor in Book of Boba Fett.
All right, stop. That's what I remember. That's what I sculpted.
There you go. That's perfect.
It's squished under the gate. That's exactly it. We nailed it.
Mouth and everything.
That's the freaking Rancor. That's what I had in my head. I'm not crazy. It is the same. I did the Rancor just at a very specific moment.
You did. You actually did.
I'm still tempted to call that a success. Now for a complete tonal shift. The lucky last monster of this video is actually going to be from Monsters Inc. And I'm going to attempt to do Randall, who is that guy, mean monster. He's like gecko-y slash like a chameleon, but he's also a Pixar character. So he's just way more simplified, stylistic. He goes like I feel like his face is like pretty wide, like slightly pointy, but also pretty wide. And he's definitely like got big round eyeballs. He glares. He's got like evil eyes. He can say that. He looks bored. He's got like a mean, grumpy face, so he's got to have a mouth that looks a bit mean, grumpy. I actually feel like that's getting somewhere. I'm starting to get Randall vibes. Okay, I think his arms are on his waist. I don't want to give him too much shape because I actually think he's like meant to be a little slithery. I don't know if I have to make that sound before I say the word. And I feel like his fingers have like those
Sabe qual que é o melhor jeito de botar alguém pra dormir nesse replay?
where they're like big on the ends.
Sei lá.
Sabe qual que é o melhor jeito de botar alguém pra dormir nesse replay? Mandar ele cometer suicídio e ao mesmo tempo ele reviu o cérebro.
Mandar ele cometer suicídio o quê?
E derreter o cérebro.
I don't know what sort of legs he has. I feel like that's something.
Pior que
Maybe.
o cérebro psicopata dormiu mesmo.
Never been too confident with these.
Ele não levou um tiro, mas não tem como.
Am I doing a car insurance gecko? I feel like I am. I don't think he has much stuff on the trunk. I think he's got a pretty straight back. And then he has like these antennae. So there's definitely one from like the middle of the head. But I feel like he has more than that. He has a few. Ooh, I think they taper out. I think they're like little sharp ones. Is that the right amount though? I don't know. I'm at the point now where I feel like I've got enough of Randall that I'm happy, but I'm definitely off in ways that I can't pick. With that said, I'm happy to call this done.
Ah, ficou muito bom.
Não, você não quer ir no 3D3 depois? Vai ficar só mais?
Te garanto, Lucas, garanto que você teria paciência pra modelar se fosse VR.
Será?
Eu vi um jogo de. Eu tô vendo uns TikTok de um. TikTok assim, shorts, né? Eu tô vendo uns shorts de um cara pintando em um jogo de VR. Velho, eu tô achando incrível. Quando você comprar o VR.
Eu também quero fazer pintar em VR.
E como é que vai o progresso da compra do VR? Da questão da compra do VR no fim deste mês. Nossa, velho, o BC tá durando, né, bicho?
Ele não toca, ele é muito fã.
Foi mal.
Ele é muito fã minha.
Foi mal, foi mal. Foi mal, meu.
BC tá durando, né, bicho?
I think you're right. I
Tá.
do remember that too now that you mention it. For some reason my brain is going to like a teal somewhere.
Quem que ele roubou essa bola de mim? Oh, o cara tá escutando Ronaldinho.
Then I sort of think, oh, that's Sully. You know, so like I could be totally wrong.
I'm starting to think that he has spots somewhere in
Não,
his
é
body.
igual. Ah, não,
And
não,
Sully did as well.
Yes.
I'm not sure if he did.
Não.
I do think this is one you can show anyone.
Tá reação na live.
I mean, that's but I missed a few limbs.
Oh yeah.
He does. He does. And the tail
That
turns
was
teal. There's teal.
Yeah.
I just didn't know where, and it wasn't spots or anything. It's really weird. I wouldn't have remembered that. But I actually got really
Nossa
close.
senhora, esse cara foi
Yeah,
humilhado.
the tail turns to teal scales, and I put teal scales all over him.
Yeah.
Vamos, Léo, vamos, Léo.
Vou lá.
So there's something in your brain onto that. That's really cool. I actually reckon this one is
Unbelievable.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And from memory, I reckon we did pretty good.
I think he got the expression back on.
Pô, pega esse rasteirinho no cantinho, olha.
All their little monsters lined up. This is much more of a success than a flop. I'm biased, but please let us know in the comments what you think. How you feel, Murray?
Pretty good, yeah. I think I got like the overall color of everything pretty down pat. Oh, I'm really happy with
And the
that.
paint jobs are fantastic. It's all come together really well. It's really fun.
O cara do Vavá também.
Being like, oh, I hope I don't let down Mr. Jazza with the coloring.
The bonus is that because none of these are
Dá outra na
copyright
frente.
properties, they're all visually very distinct.
Meu Deus,
I can
meu
share
Deus.
them with you. So
Meu Deus.
my
Gustavo, tira daí,
patrons,
Gustavo.
behind the scenes tearing up, you'll be getting these models, which I've done in previous videos too. So if you're
Pegou.
interested in getting a little bit of a fun behind the scenes, but also every now and then some goodies, go check it out. And a huge thank you to patrons for making this channel happen. And a huge thank you to you for helping me in this video.
Ai.
Not sued, yes!
That was, yeah, not yet.
Nice. Well, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, we should do this again sometime.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
O jogo ainda tá no beta, bicho.
Não, desde o do close do beta dá pra você entrar dentro do gol. Com a bola pra defender.
Mas esse cara é muito fominha, velho.
Não tô com a bola não, mano. Não tô com a bola. Eu tô tentando pegar a bola.
Aí tá.
Mas vou de menos.
Tá.
Tá, não.
De pés.
Isso não pode ser, não. Pelo menos o título não mentiu. Criança sai do armário e os pais parentes e os seus pais ficam loucos.
Ah, tô com fominha. Vai logo, vai logo, vai logo.
Eu nem tô com a bola, cara.
Aqui é do goleiro, aqui é do goleiro. Tem que ser do goleiro aqui.
Verdade, não foi clickbait. Literalmente nenhum clickbait. Deixa ele ir também.
Mas bom, mano, é diferente.
O que tá acontecendo nesse vídeo? Ah, o cachorrão calou a boca da torcida.
Não, e aí ficou tipo meio cult, tá ligado?
Rapaz, eu nunca vi o cachorrão tão criticado.
Não!
Aperta F, Gustavo, aperta F. Puta, você tá no teclado com o controle.
Lá vai ele! Não! Ô, golaço do cachorrão! Toma essa, torcida! Fala dele, fala dele! Quando a Ariana
Inimigo do passe, velho. Aqui. Não, você tem que mirar com o analógico aí.
Não! Imagina a cara do moleque.
É do jeito que tá sensível aqui.
Porra, mãe, na moral, muito trabalho, mãe. Pô, na moral.
Mira isso.
Tira.
No mames.
Foi fraco, foi mal.
Isso foi um acidente.
Um barbecue! Animal!
Ai, não consigo tocar, eu apertei, velho.
O que eu tô fazendo? Você tá me chamando de fominha?
For a knuckle sandwich. Boy, Kylo, you want a butt of this knuckle sandwich?
Meu Deus, meu goleiro. Pegou. Ele foi lá, eu tô na área.
Pra animar os esse animal está com um caso severo de rebolagem. Está sofrendo um maiores de escaries.
5 escaries Oscares. Scary Alerts. Número 1.
Eu tô com a balão. Bora.
Ah, esse William, esse Guilherme.
Mano, esse colocar é bom. O Vitinho é bom de bola.
Esse gato.
Tô, Gustavo, no meio. Toca a bola, demora pra animação, velho.
Goleiro.
3x2, hein? 3x2. Você morreu?
Não, no meio. Nice, Léo. Mano.
Pé atrás, recua.
Isso é a vaca of the Colossus? Shadow of the Vaca?
Ai, tô trolando. Cruza não.
Caralho, não mexe com ela,
Nossa,
não mexe com ela.
forte.
Jogou notícia que ninguém queria dar. Não.
Todo lado.
O Mus pode ouvir meu áudio?
F.
Tem estamina.
Nossa,
Corre. No goleirão.
Mano,
Jogou
goleiro,
muito.
velho.
Eu pego.
fazer uma receita muito pedida por todos vocês nos comentários. Uma bomba nuclear.
Avança.
Parece que o Christopher Nolan fez o filme novo, que está em todo lugar.
É, mais ou menos. entendi.
Meio.
Vem e passa, Léo.
Qual era o objetivo pra ele direito? A senhora quer comprar.
Quer comprar a moto e não quer pagar. Não, eu quero comprar.
Já estamos um jogo inteiro de prorrogação já, velho. Deixa. Então vai.
E não vai haver nunca a possibilidade de eu falar. Aí vendam o que quiser pra mim, consciente desse erro. E vocês vão cometer.
Léo, no meio.
Ela achou que ela tava cozinhando. Ela achou que ela tinha achado. Mano, ela achou que estava cozinhando.
Segundo poste.
Se eu falar.
Eles fizeram gol contra.
Quem aceitar é 50%. Ou aceita ou não. Eu tava tentando achar um glitch.
Vamos, velho. Que jogo tenso, velho.
Como é que é?
Nossa, quando ele é. Mano,
Ela tem um molho.
MVP, velho. Se desse pra honrar alguém aqui, eu honraria ele. Vamos tentar ir nós três só?
Caralho!
Foi MVP.
Tá maluco.
Caralho, eu fiz 10 mil pontos.
E ainda faz torrada. Nossa! Tá maluco, tá mexendo pra caralho. Acho que não foi uma boa ideia. Não vai dar. Nossa, mordida por Bluetooth.
Can take a small bite. Just bite. Gentle.
Miau. Isso é um rato? É um rato. Cadê o seu trabalho? Faz seu trabalho! Ele tá desesperado do rato, mano. Não acredito nisso. Aprendeu a bater pênalti com CR7. Caralho. Pegar galhos.
Muito bom.
O Carlos bebeu porra, o Carlos é porra, o Carlos bebe porra. O rosto do Carlos coberto de espuma, o rosto do Carlos coberto de espuma, o Carlos...
On this episode of Mythbusters,
It's like a lovely ballet, isn't it?
Jamie and Adam whip it good
Ow, 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 ow.
to test the myth that if a cable at high tension suddenly snaps,
Right through his body. Through it.
it can slice a person clean in two.
I love hearing big sounds in the next room.
And meanwhile, Brent, Carrie, and Tori make beautiful music to find out if sound can be recorded onto pottery.
I know it would be like to be married to you.
And played back just like a record.
That's crazy. He's happening.
Who are the Mythbusters? Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman.
Aren't tracer rounds illegal?
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
That's what I'm talking about.
Joining them Tori Belleci,
What could go wrong?
Carrie Byron,
Going for total annihilation.
and Grant Imahara.
I'm pumping as fast as I can!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
Alright, I'm gonna perform this next myth in pantomime. What do you think?
Okay. We're talking about killer cable splice, I believe.
Exactly.
And this is when a cable under tension snaps and it cuts you in half.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
To me.
Allegedly. The theory is that if a cable is stretched taut, the tension can become so great that if it were to snap, it could cut a person in two. Not a pretty picture. Not pretty at all, as this footage filmed on the USS George Washington shows. A cable that was supposed to stop a jet broke and whipped across the deck. Luckily, one crew member had lightning-fast reflexes, but 5 others had no time to run.
Você está mina.
Proof of this real
Você está mina.
You know, I'm a little worried about this one. I'm not sure how easy it will be to get the cable to behave in a predictable fashion, like where it's going to go when you snap it.
Well, that sounds like a perfect opportunity for a bench test. We should do a scale model and see how we can make the cable snap predictable.
Well, also, actually, with that, we can figure out where the most dangerous place to be in there, like the kill zone.
Sure.
To set up the bench test, Jamie screws on clamps at either end of a table. Then he secures parachute cord from one end to the other and tightens it until it's stretched taut. Adam measures and marks out a scale model floor plan.
It's about 50 by 30, and it's gridded out in 1-foot marks so that I should be able to see where the cable is going for each of these tests.
Razor at the ready.
Now it's sharp enough. High suits ready? Okay, here we go. Test number 1, no obstructions.
The cord soars straight down the center line.
It makes all the sense in the world. You're tensioning it, and you release tension on one side. All the force in that cable wants to head towards the other anchor point.
He sounds like an expert now, but in a previous myth, they almost got a moving violation trying to bring a police car to a screeching halt by tying an anchored cable to its rear axle. Driving the car in a straight line broke the cable with ease, but this myth needs a little more direction.
So we need to deflect it.
We absolutely need to deflect it. Otherwise, there is no whip at all.
Yeah,
It just
there's
goes
no reason. All the energy is going that way. Why would it?
Precisely. What I'm looking for is a consistent arc of maybe 6 to 10 feet that I can count on the cable going through. Then I can set up the big cable, I can put my test subject there, I can slice it and know that that cable under that tension is going to go. Stanchion moved closer to the cut point. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So fast. That's just beautiful.
Slap you in the face kind of thing.
I mean, that cable is just moving right towards this area, just like you'd imagine the worst case scenario would be.
Yeah.
So if they can get the cable to move like the cord is doing, what would happen to a person who was unlucky enough to get in the way? They place a bolt on the grid that will play the unfortunate human.
Okay, here we go.
The cord completely lassos the bolt.
Dude.
It went all the way.
That's beautiful.
That's like Indiana Jones with the whip.
Forget wimpy little string. The boys are ready to lash out with the might of steel.
This myth first came to our attention on the internet. Scientists were playing back sound inadvertently recorded onto ancient pottery.
So somehow, in the mists of time, there was the perfect scenario in which a pot was turning on a wheel and something like straw or anything brushing up against that pot acted as a stylus. And their voice, their laughter, the vibrations from sound actually recorded inadvertently into the clay.
So sound pretty crazy, doesn't it?
Sure does. The theory is in ancient times, a potter was working away when there was a noise close by. The force of the sound waves made an imprint like record grooves in the fresh clay. Fast forward to today, and we can play back these sounds from the past using modern technology. First stop is the lair of mega sound system creator Alexander Yule Thornton II, but you can call him Thorny for short.
It was given to me in my teens, and I kind of liked it, so I kept it.
Every conceivable kind of recording device, spare part, and cool little toy imaginable is hidden somewhere on Thorny's shelves.
Barbie steam engine.
No, it's a G.I. Joe steam engine.
So what's this expert audiophile's opinion about pottery recording?
I think there's no question you could do it.
So recording an audio signal in a piece of pottery and playing it back.
Yes.
We just have to prove that it's remotely possible.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult.
Thorny just happens to have a device on hand that will prove his point. A phonographic dictation machine from the 1930s that was invented by Thomas Edison.
Warning, warning, dive, dive, dive.
The way the dictation machine worked could be very similar to how it might be possible to record and play back sound from a clay pot.
Coming up next on Mythbusters, can you get audio off an old pot?
The vibrations from Grant's voice travel down the horn and cause a cutting stylus to make a series of grooves in the wax.
You can see the little sort of ruffles in the surface. That is the information as cut.
So back in the day, this would be like high-tech.
Oh, yeah.
To play it back, they simply run a non-cutting stylus back over the grooves.
Coming up next on Mythbusters, can you get audio? All right.
It's a voice writer.
That is great.
With all of Thorny's knowledge at their disposal, the most burning question Grant has is...
Does my voice really sound like that?
Yeah.
Well,
you guys suck.
So it doesn't record all of the low pitches.
Maybe we should try that recording again.
The team thanks Thorny for his sound insight.
I don't know, with a shop like this, I have a feeling we might be contacting you again for something else buried in here.
feel free.
Well, if wax can hold sound, maybe clay can too. Carrie and Tori go to a pottery store to get some supplies. The finer the grade of clay, the better.
We're hoping that if we have a fine clay, it won't distort the stylist's recording on our pottery.
All right, let's go make some pots.
I gotta cut my nails first. I got a stylus on every finger.
I got it too. Let's go get a manicure and then we'll throw some pots.
There's high tension all around us. Cables are mighty useful, so there's no escaping them. But if they snap, can they cut you in two? Sounds like just the job for the Mythbusters.
Well, we've got some safety concerns first off before we start actually, snapping cables. And I figure that means that we should get some kind of interior space inside a building so we can control it. Maybe we can be outside.
Very separated. Yeah, this thing's going to be dangerous as hell.
The plan is to rig a series of chains and pulleys around a support column, attach a cable to it, and stretch it all the way over to another support column and position an obstruction between them. Then, using a hydraulic pump, pull the cable so tight it snaps, and see if it slices their human stand-in half. Jamie goes shopping to get some heaving hardware.
Hey, Andy.
Hi, Jamie.
Glad to
Welcome.
meet
Welcome to CH Bull.
Well, thank you. So, I've got a project that I need your help on.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a situation where a cable is under tension and it snaps and it cuts somebody in half?
I've heard it more with nylon rope, but I've heard it with cable as well. There's a lot more elasticity in a nylon rope. There could be a lot more stretching, which would be a lot more recoil.
Well, that's what I figured too. We'll have to test a variety of thicknesses of cable as well as some different types of rope even.
To pull the cable or rope taut, Andy shows Jamie a hydraulic cylinder that can pull cables. It's the kind of gadget that gets Jamie all animated.
Oh, yeah. Well, just looking at it, I'd say that's gonna do fine. 30 tons.
30 tons, and I think we're a little over 5 inches of stroke.
As As for a device that will actually slice through the cable, Andy has a safety-minded suggestion.
What's nice about this is it's easy to have a remote setting, set this right in the middle of the cable, and so as you start to cut from a safe distance away, as that cable breaks, this would be the ideal way to go.
Well, that's perfect.
Jamie leaves with his slice and dice goodies. Meanwhile, Adam goes to market to get their target.
Killer cable stab is not at all a story we can test with Buster. He is good for the falling, the banging, the kind of rough damage assessments. This is a case where we want to find out if a cable can slice a human being in half. We need a much better human analog. Keith, how you doing?
It's a meet and greet with manager Keith.
You got some pigs for us?
Oh yeah, some big ones.
Really?
Yes.
How much do they weigh?
150 pounds average.
That's actually perfect. So let's go see them.
You need this first.
Oh, great. The fashion statement.
Yeah.
Excellent. There we go. Oh my God.
Even though they're not alive, seeing the dead pigs hanging from horror movie-sized hooks makes this bacon lover almost lose his breakfast.
This is gonna be hard even for me. I'm not gonna have a ham sandwich for lunch today.
But Adam manages not to hurl and takes the pigs back to M5.
Got a pickup truck full of 750 pounds of ham. Let's do some experiments.
Did you stop some traffic with this lot? Or?
No, I got a couple of looks, but I got looks like this. People driving by, they saw the pigs, and then they looked in the cab, and they're like, oh, it's the Mythbuster guy.
Along with shop assistant Terry, Adam makes the pigs a little more like human targets.
On the advice of one of the experts we talked to, we're going to fill back up the cavity where the viscera was with ballistics gelatin. I'm also going to put in some lungs. Stick it as far up there as it'll go. We like to spread the pain here on Mythbusters. Get everyone involved.
While they wait to be whooped, the pigs chill out. The theory of archaeoacoustics, that ancient pottery has sounds trapped inside from the exact moment it was being made, could be out there.
Christ's words, the actual incantation to raise the dead, were recorded in the clay grooves of the pottery, just like the way music is recorded into vinyl.
I'll have Chuck Burks meet you over at my office, see if this clay has Christ's greatest hits on it.
To recreate a likely ancient scenario, they'll make a drum, then rest a stylus on top of it that's touching a wet clay pot spinning on a wheel. Next, they'll make some noise and see if the straw stylus etches the sound into the clay. Following in the footsteps of ancient man, Tori and Carrie are going to get primal and make some pots from scratch.
Is it that messy that we need to lay down plastic?
The raw smell of the wet earth combined with the romance of the creative process seems to be having a strange effect on Tori.
We saw that movie Ghost.
I did.
Remember that scene? Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore.
Yep.
Good scene.
One where he was dead?
I think they were still both alive.
Luckily, Carrie has met her share of artistic types with unoriginal designs.
Need some help?
Back off, Belechi.
Pô, para de trollar aí, ô goleiro ruim.
Carrie soon learned that shaping a simple pot isn't easy.
Sooner or later, it's supposed to center, I'm pretty sure. I'm more off center now than I was before. This is gonna be the worst pot ever.
Ooh, looks great.
Yeah.
But eventually she centers herself at the clay, molding and shaping it.
She makes a love to the clay.
And the result is a shining example of symmetry. Nice job, Carrie.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Now it's Tori's turn to take a seat behind the pottery wheel. He slams it into high gear straight away. Talk about a lead foot.
Isn't there a faster speed on this thing?
You might be going a little faster.
Nah, it's not going fast enough. I think I need to hook this up to an engine.
Pretty sure the keys go slow.
Really? It's more fun to go fast.
Tori, it might be a good idea to ease off on the gas a little.
You're the boss. The clay is not the boss.
Well, apparently the clay's making all the decisions right now.
The result of Tori's passionate artistic expression is less than impressive.
Oh, it looks good. It's so cute. What a little tiny thing.
Not something a guy ever wants to hear, but Tori seems proud nevertheless.
It looks great.
My first one ever.
Putting their artwork to one side, Carrie is going to make a drum by cutting the tops off some earthenware pots and stretching animal skin over the top.
Well, hopefully this will work like a drum and vibrate with sound, and the stylus will make sort of a zigzaggy line into my recording clay.
Sound the drums. Tori and Carrie are ready to record.
This is a damn fine drum. I'm pretty excited about that.
Can cables at high tension be trusted? Jets on aircraft carriers rely on cables big time to put
Eu que tô trolando, tá vendo?
Watch your back. This footage, shot on the USS George Washington, is proof they can go AWOL at any time.
Cê é louco,
but
esse
cannot
bicho
cable
aí também
slice
tá
you in two.
torolando, mano.
To test this myth, Jamie and Adam need to move somewhere nice and quiet where they can really stretch out.
Oh, hurry up.
This should do nicely. The perfect little hideaway in the middle of nowhere. A former workshop on an abandoned military base.
So the metal grid there is what you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
They can't wait to move in and are full of decorating ideas.
That's a fine hook to hang a pig on right there. We've got big steel beams to anchor our cables and cable pullers to. We've got a welding grid to put down our bollards and hang our pigs over, and lots of beams in the ceiling. It is ideal.
To start with, they're going to build their cable rig.
So you're the ghost of Christmas past, is that it?
Our two anchor points are going to be these big pillars, and we'll put big chains around these things, shackles, all this hardware and stuff to make a nice, solid attachment point. Everything that we do will be based on those two pull points.
From their bench tests, they learned that placing an object in the path of the cord as it snapped back caused it to curve around in a nice slicing arc. So they weld a large metal tank to the floor.
We need something to anchor to the ground to make the cable snap to one side and do what we want.
Well, that's a cigar cutter from...
Now to check the bite power of their cutter.
It's nail
Jaws of
clipper.
life.
They power it up. And it cuts the steel like it's a piece of string.
Damn, brother.
Their first test is going to be with rope. Jamie ties the rope to the rigging, then they crank it until it's nice and tight and position it over the bar.
I hope we didn't weaken it right there.
Time to truck in their victim.
Who is our first test subject? This is horrible.
They raise Piggy up on a hook.
They don't smell as pristine as they did the other day.
And Adam gives him a reassuring pep talk.
The rope breaks. I want it kind of looping around here. And truthfully, I want it to slice right through your hide.
Due to the danger factor, our Mythbusters insurance company insisted the entire test has to be executed and filmed using remote equipment.
When we snap these cables, they are going to be, 50-foot cable is going to swing possibly in a 50-foot arc and slice not only our pigs, but potentially Jamie or I or a crew member in half. So in order to do this experiment, we need to be completely separated from it.
The rope is too elastic for the hydraulic tensioner to pull tight enough, so they're going to heave it with a little something else. Adam's so excited to be driving one of his favorite forms of transportation, he does 360s of joy in the parking lot.
It's like a lovely ballet, isn't it? Man, I love driving this big equipment. Gotta get one of these for myself.
The forklift is attached to the rope with a long pulley system of lines that stretch all the way outside. The last touch is to place the cutter on the rope, and they're ready to slice some ham.
Cool, let's roll.
The team has been stepping back in time to dig up and dust off the myth of archaeoacoustics. That ancient pottery contains sounds from the past that can be tapped into. To recreate a very possible archaeoacoustic scenario straight out of a Pompeian potter's studio, they put their freshly made, unfired pot on the wheel and stand the drum next to it. On top of the drum, they place the stylus, a piece of straw. Tori does a sound check.
Look at that. Look how much it vibrates when I do that.
Their stylus works, and M5 becomes an ancient times recording studio.
Pottery record!
Tori will be the talent.
Let's get ready to record!
Go.
And Carrie, pottery record producer.
Like at it. Okay?
Okay. All right, ready?
In 3, 2, 1.
Pottery record!
I see little frequencies.
They look for a sign in the line that Tori's magnificent tenor-like tone has left an imprint.
Definitely, look at this.
Yeah, I can see it. It's actually all through here. It looks almost like a braid.
Has Tori's voice been stamped into the surface? Then Carrie steps up to the mic.
Pottery record!
The girl's got some pipes.
Oh, I can see little zigzaggies. I can see it. It's really, really fine, but it's there.
The zigzag patterns on the clay could be sound imprints, but they won't be able to test their pots until they're completely dry.
If we tried to extract anything off of them right now, we'd probably end up destroying the groove because it's too soft.
So the Pompeii scenario pottery recording seems to be going pretty well. What's next?
Well, there was another version of this myth that appeared on one of those forensic TV shows recently, and the same idea with the pottery on the pottery wheel, but instead of the drum, they just had kind of a brush going along. But they were able to extract audio off of it and get some clue that helped them solve the case.
Wait. They're taking the drum out of the equation, which means you have to rely entirely on the brush to pick up the vibrations from your voice?
To test the freaky forensic show scenario, the team will spin an unfired clay pot on a wheel, and as it turns, they'll hold a brush against it and make a noise. This time the drum won't be there to help, so to get the sound to stamp onto the clay, it's all down to the stylus. Potters often use straw as a finishing tool, so Grant cuts up long pieces from a broom.
The longer the straw is, the better chance it'll have of vibrating and then maybe making an impression on the pot.
Carrie very helpfully tests the stylus.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe it's too low pitch. Oh, now it's moving. Look at it. Screaming is fun. You don't get to do it anymore.
Grant secures his straw brush to a metal stand next to the pottery wheel.
Oh, no,
Who's
you
gonna
put
win
that on.
first place in the fair? Maybe second place.
And Carrie says what all forensic investigators wish they could.
You crazy killer! Yeah?
I didn't realize you were gonna do it that loud.
I'm trying to get a good chance.
To make my left ear go deaf.
Okay.
I think you got it.
Carrie is killing me not so softly. They grab a fresh pot. This time she's just going to say a single word. It could have more impact.
It's like, I don't know, Carrie or Tori.
Okay.
Carrie releases her inner pain.
Tori!
You got some grooves.
Is it deep enough? Any one of those grooves could capture that information.
There are definitely some mystery cuts and nicks on the clay, but were they caused from sound vibrations, or was it just the force of Carrie's breath that moved the swell? Tori has an idea to reduce the chance of any falsetto markings.
When they record music, they have the little windscreen. It's like a piece of pantyhose that just goes over, and that keeps it from the wind in the element.
You want to make one?
Yeah.
Do you have your pantyhose here?
I'm wearing it.
It's in your...
I can take it off.
Get the spare pair in your toolbox.
A windscreen should help block Carrie's breath.
Got your pop screen all ready?
Yep. To try and focus the sound on the stylus even more, they cut back the bristles on the brush, so just one piece of straw is concentrated on the clay. A quick vocal warm-up, and the voice of an angel rings out. Or maybe make that the devil.
That was a good one, Gary. And I know it would be like to be married to you.
But they got their best clear marking on the clay yet.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
The forensic pottery sessions were a hit.
Gonna go double porcelain.
Newsflash, a snapping cable can cut you in two. Or that's the myth, and Jamie and Adam are about to find out. For their first test, they're going to start with rope. All ropes and cables have different safety ratings. Once they start stretching, the guys will monitor the pounds of force they're at. And when it maxes out, hit the trigger switch of the cutter.
Just waiting on Heineman to give me that thumbs up.
All systems are go. Adam moves the forklift forward, and little by little, the rope inside tightens.
1,000.
The pressure rises.
2,000. Okay, it's at 3,000.
And Jamie activates the cutter.
How did that work? Seem good?
I just left this thing, all the valves open, and turned on the pump.
Okay.
And it just immediately went.
Excellent.
So it was right at 3,500.
So we go in and take a look?
I think so. Well, it kind of looks like it made contact with the pig.
From examining the pig's hide, it looks like the first cut isn't always the deepest. Sometimes all you get is rope burn.
It doesn't look like it did any real damage. Damage sustained by pig? Now, don't get me wrong. If you were standing here, you might be in a lot of pain at this point, but you would not be in two halves.
They check the high-speed camera footage to see how the rope flew when it snapped.
Yeah, it just wrapped around it. Again, looking at that shot, I'm thinking the pig wants to be close to the real ripping point.
The guys move the pig closer to where the point of impact should be.
What we want to get is the pig right at the end point of the whip, the three-quarter point, where the centrifugal force is the greatest and where presumably the speed would be the highest.
They get a new section of rope, stretch it out, and try again.
Ó, alguém marca o 5, velho. Eu tava com esse 5 aqui no céu da área.
Adam pulls the rope.
3, 2, 1. That sounded more like it.
That sounded like a gunshot.
3,000 pounds on the nose.
And you pulled the trigger.
Yep, I got it right. It sounded like a whip crack.
So how's the hog looking?
Always like Christmas, finding out if actual science occurred. Hey! Dude, there's some visible damage here.
Does the mark go all the way around or just right there?
Nope, there's a little bit of a mark over here.
Even though the rope was traveling at 227 miles per hour and they got their first real solid whipping action, again, it didn't even cut through the pig's skin.
We got a real strike from the rope test. And it seems to have left one heck of a nasty rope burn on our test subject here. It would not be pleasant. However, I don't think that it would have killed a person.
Time to move on to something with teeth.
It's not got enough beef to it. Or should I say pork?
It's time to fire your rider.
Sit back, relax, and hum along to the theory of archaeoacoustics, that you can record and listen to sounds on pottery just like your favorite piece of vinyl. Using Edison's dictation machine that recorded voices onto cylindrical cylinders of wax as their inspiration, the team may have got some sounds to stick onto their pottery. Now, how do they play them back?
I teased out something very fabulous from your pottery there.
In the lab over at X-Files, they used an extraordinary sound extraction laser device to pull out an ancient insult.
Aramaic. It's the language of Crespo. It literally says, I am the bearded cow-like sea beast.
In the real world, a laser would pick up every speck of dust and dirt on a clay pot. So Grant is designing a playback system using old turntables that's more retro, but also more reliable.
This is a technique that was pioneered in the late 60s. Basically what it consists of is the tone arm from a record player, and you connect that to an amplifier. It's better to use some type of physical stylus that contacts the medium to get the best audio quality.
First, he removes the arm off one of the turntables. Then he needs to make a new stylus because the one that came with the record player is too sharp to put onto clay.
The cartridge that I've taken off of the record player has a little needle on it. But if we drag that needle across any pottery, it's probably going to destroy them. But there's a way around that, and that is to make a glass stylus. Must be the reinforced glasses.
Yeah, whatever. Muscles. Finally, Grant manages to break the reinforced glass and melts a broken piece with a blowtorch.
Hey, you're making a little swan. You're like a little glass sculptor.
Do you want me to add to your collection? A poodle this time? All you really have to do is heat the glass until it's pliable, and you pull it out in a very thin string. Once that cools, you can break it off, and you have a perfect thread of glass. Heat it up and make a little ball in the end, and you glue it right onto your record player stylus.
By attaching the glass stylus to the arm and hooking up an amplifier,
that's the sound of my fingerprint.
DJ BC is in the house and ready to rock some pots.
All right. Now we need her some pots with some sounds on them.
Well, the myth we're testing, in case you haven't been paying attention, is whether or not a cable under an extreme amount of tension can break, and when it snaps after it breaks, that whipping cable can slice you in half.
In their first tests, Jamie and Adam snapped ropes at a deceased porcine. Even though they got some direct hits, the cord didn't give the pig anything more than a case of nasty rope burn. But steel cable is a whole lot stronger.
I suspect it's totally possible to achieve, and I want to see some severed flesh from some cable.
Cable comes in different sizes and strengths. So for their first test, they're starting on the thin side. The less the surface area, maybe the greater the cutting action.
This time we're using 3/8 cable. Having something like this would be something like a guy wire for a radio tower or possibly even some kind of hoisting operation.
Because cable doesn't stretch and recoil as much as rope, to try and increase the whip factor, they're going to use 140-foot lengths and use a two-handed approach to get it tight.
We're using the extended reach forklift to pull all of the slack out and even put a fair amount of tension on the cable with it. And then finally, when we get it up to a pretty high level, we'll use the piston to pull the rest of it out, and we cut it.
Everyone except Adam exits the building. Slowly and very carefully, he pulls out the slack in the line, then hightails it outside.
I pulled the limit of what the fork can pull, about 9 inches, so let's go for broke.
All right.
They put the hydraulic pump into gear.
There we go.
All right, cutting 3/8 cable in 3, 2, 1. I love hearing big sounds in the next room. Wow, I mean, it looks like it couldn't have been more successful.
He took quite a hit.
This time, Piggy went for a trot.
This little piggy went to market.
If you think about how much force it takes to give him a pop that will move him about 10 feet, it might not slice your legs off, but it might render them needing to be amputated or something.
Looking at the slow-mo replay, they almost got barbecued pork.
Did you see the sparks off the barrel?
That ought to tell you something.
No one can fault us for not giving it the right amount of force, tension, and smacking.
That'd be brutal. Make your heart stop.
But the 3/8 cable still didn't cut it.
This was perfect for cutting in half if it was done. It didn't. 3/8 cable is done as far as I'm concerned.
It's probably time to bump up to bigger gauge.
Okay.
Bigger is sometimes better, so the guys reel out 5/8 cable that has a mighty breaking strength of 40,000 pounds.
That is super thick monster cable. And we're gonna see if that has enough energy to do the damage that we're looking for. Stop it!
Jamie secures the heavyweight cable to the puller.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near this stuff when it snapped.
No, this is going to be a bit of a different beast.
The hydraulic puller puts 30,000 pounds of pressure on the cable, and it's time to unleash this monster.
Okay, ready?
Cutting 5/8 kit. In 3, 2, 1.
That kind of wound you up, didn't it?
Wow.
They go inside to inspect the whack factor.
Pig's still in one piece, but it went a little further, didn't it?
He went a lot further.
The pig took a massive hit, but he's still not cut in half.
Dude, that is so
Good hit.
brutal. I don't reckon that there's any other hit we could have gone for that would do any better than that.
We were pulling 30,000 pounds or more on it when we cut it. And 30,000 pounds, I mean, that's like 10 cars or so of energy that's getting let go bang, like a shot of a gun.
Looks like the killer cable myth isn't such a snap after all.
I can't imagine anybody looking at that footage and not thinking that somebody standing there would have gotten killed. I mean, the pig was just brutally hit. He was pulverized in his midsection.
No, I agree. That is not a survivable hit, but that's not the myth. The myth is that that snapping cable can slice you in half, and we don't have a sliced up pig.
No, we don't. I don't know what we're going to do to achieve it.
Oh, we got to figure it out.
Back at Base BC, the team have dug up a theory that's been buried in the sands of time, that ancient pottery can contain sounds from the past.
You crazy killer!
Attempting to record onto clay, they think they might have got some
Peguei
sounds
isso,
when
velho.
embed onto pottery. Now, to try and play it back.
There's one primary piece of scientific evidence that does support this myth.
Yeah, in 1969, there was a letter published in the Proceedings of the Institute of
Oxi, a bola foi pra fora do gol.
of which I am a member, where they claim to be able to record and play back the sounds of a potter's wheel in a piece of pottery.
To listen, they place the now-fired Pompeii pot onto the pottery wheel and spin it like a record on a turntable. Then they put Grant's glass stylus in a groove and are all ears. Whoa, better get the RPMs right, guys. Luckily, it didn't break, and they try again.
Okay. Ready?
As the pot rotates, they can clearly hear the stylus scraping as it moves over the surface of the clay, but nothing else.
Go to this one, because this is a good groove here.
Grant finds another groove to trace further down the pot.
That's creepy sounding. What is that voice?
As Grant puts the glass stylus onto this pottery, you can hear almost a ghostly voice.
I'm hearing something. That's like some crazy voice from beyond.
They slow down the speed of the wheel. They might hear the whoop whoop more clearly.
It sounds like some demon possessed.
Stop. Okay.
It's giving me chills.
Okay.
Are they the words pottery record? Or is the team just hearing the voices in their head more plainly than usual?
There's definitely something there.
There's definitely something there. It's not just static.
Putting their Pompeii pot aside for now, they're ready to test their forensic TV show pot, where they used a brush stylus and no drum. Again, the team places the stylus on a groove in the pot and listens closely. But it's hard to make out if it's anything more than just static.
There's one area where I hear sort of a, but it's really faint and I don't know if they're making it up in my head.
Huh, probably won't ever be a hit carry, but it's given our trio hope.
It was
was some noticeable recording there that repeated. So, and it wasn't static. So my feeling is it's not the best way to record sound, but it's possible.
I don't want to crush our little supergroup's dreams of pottery record stardom, so we're sending them to a sound lab very soon to get a pro's take on their potential.
I think it said Armageddon is in 3 days.
Dude, at least wait for the weekend.
Go to this one.
Listening to their pottery records, the team heard some mysterious sounds. But it was hard to tell if it was a human voice.
What?
So, they're off to a professional sound studio to get this myth cleared up.
I feel like we're doing a drop-off or something.
Yeah. So now that we've gotten all of our ghost sounds off of our pots and recorded them onto tapes, we've come down to a little place called Denoise. They're hopefully going to do that forensic show thing where they clear up all the background and you get some sort of discernible words off of this audio track. Hello.
Meet super sound guy Albert.
Do you have any sort of laser system that, we could bounce a Doppler laser off our pottery and capture audio off of that?
I don't have a laser system, but I have very good restoration tools. So what we have on this tape, I will be able to hear.
Albert takes the team into his high-tech sound studio, and Grant beams up.
Number 1, set course for Starbase 217. Engage. What?
This is the way of your people, isn't it?
Yes, it's part of my history. It's what we do.
Albert cues up a track from their Pompeii pot, where the team thought they got their best possible sound imprint.
I will try to use different tools to increase the sound, to reduce the noise.
He filters out the snap, crackle, and pop.
I mean, already you can hear a difference.
Yeah.
It's gotten rid of all that crazy static.
And now if I reduce it, we have something better here.
Wow.
Let me increase the sound. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like it's just scraping along the pottery.
The sound is so clear, it's positively sparkling.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm getting excited. Our good pot might actually have something.
Yeah.
Our trio is full of anticipation. Will Albert be able to lift off any comprehensible words so we can share their excitement?
I had some fairly high hopes because we did have something that sounds like an audio signal on our pot.
Everyone is all ears.
I hear something, but there is so much noise in the middle. No pottery record.
Oh!
An unexplained squeak? Yes. But an easily distinguishable human voice? No.
The best we got today was a squeak. And at most, it's not like you get pottery record. All we heard was...
Looks like their pottery record won't ever make the Archaeoacoustic Hot 100. Sorry, kids. Them's the breaks.
So you mean everything we see on TV isn't real?
I'm afraid so, Tori.
So what's Albert's take on the myth?
You can imagine that you can record almost anything on a media that's hard enough to keep the groove, okay? Not on butter, but on anything else like plastic or wax. But if you do it intentionally, if not, it will be only noise.
Seems as a recording medium, clay just doesn't cut it.
What's your gut feeling?
No recording.
As a Frenchman and a sound engineer,
No, pas possible.
pas possible.
Pas possible.
Playing Piggy in the Middle hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Adam and Jamie.
It took quite a hit.
Tá escutando? Alguém tá escutando? Alguém
Sim, sim, sim.
Far,
Opa,
trying to
ó o
snap
Gori,
that
então.
dead pig in
Tô aqui
two
ganhando
with a
aqui.
whipping cable.
Quem fala
Porky has
só pra eu saber pra tocar a bola, mas...
still intact every
Eu, aqui na canto direito. Esquerdo, na verdade.
Realmente. Fechou.
These results, they're not only counterintuitive to what I thought was possible, but they're really frustrating. So I had a
Tá
research team
curious.
call pretty much every national
Não, aqui foi de boa, aqui foi de boa.
federal military safety organization that they could get on the phone to ask for evidence of this myth.
Esse andar mais no
while
C,
there's
mano,
tons
que
of
tiver ninguém.
anecdotal evidence, and there's not a fisherman alive
Que
who
isso?
doesn't think this myth is
Aconteceu?
true, we could
Apareceu correndo do nada, velho.
definitive
Ai, foi mal.
case of someone being
Tá de boa, tá de
sliced
boa.
in half by a cable.
Well, the myth says that cable will slice you in half like a hot knife through butter.
But there are plenty of
Eu não tô. Mano,
we showed that a snapping cable can.
eu não entendi.
Well, you know what happens.
O
O
cara
passou
pegou.
na frente
É,
dele, não pegou a bola e
Back
chutou.
down there and find out what it'll take to
Não tô falando nem do nosso time, não. Tô falando foi agora mesmo, pô.
Exactly.
O cara passou e chutar e
They
não entendi
hog
nada.
tie Adam's nemesis.
Basically, so I'm holding his torso perfectly rigid to the cable, whack, going right through his body here. That's what I want, right through his body, through it.
This time, the idea is to combine the best of both worlds, from thick and thin cable, mass and cutting action, by attaching a piece of 3/16 cable to the end of the monster line.
We're hoping that this little whip gets such
Ó, duas
high speed
intercepção,
from
bom
its
pra caralho.
instantaneous yank from the big cable that it'll cut the pig.
Pressurizing the cable.
Nice.
Cable with a 3/16 whip.
The tension builds. But will they get their release?
Okay, cutting the cable in 3, 2, 1.
Made a good loud sound.
Damn.
It sounded satisfying, but the pig
É mó paia.
was faking.
No dice, no slice. It's not looking
É,
good.
melhor corrigido.
No, we're not getting anywhere near the carnage.
Poxa, é doido. Então, é isso
The
mesmo.
stress of no success is making Adam a little loopy.
This time, we're actually
Oxi.
going to attach a loop
É
of
muito
3/16 cable
viado.
to the 5/8 around the pig, anchored.
Cara, só quer fazer num passe os gols, mano.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what we're doing? Well, I think we're good to go, man. Got the loop. Everything's tied down.
If he doesn't get a result this time, please don't hold me responsible for his actions.
Relaxou.
Final death loop.
Mentira! Só tá.
Oh, please, let there be a pig cut in half in there.
Mano, eu vou ficar marcando esses 5 aqui, velho.
That's it? He's not cut in half at all.
Eu tô ruim aqui, mano. O cara tá no marcando. Bota lá no Maroche ali, ó. Maroche.
Let's go get a sword.
Relaxa, pô.
Meat cleaver.
If
Toma aí,
Eddie is
se eu
about to
soubesse.
snap, it's Adam.
That's all we can do, right?
Se eu soubesse,
Jamie,
não
never say
tinha,
that to a
tinha
man
pedido
whose
pra
eyes
tocar
are
pra ele.
glazed over.
Sério mesmo. Só que eu roubei a bola do Rod, foi mal, Rod.
Until that cable goes through his midsection.
Ah, acabou a estamina.
Warning, if you're a sensitive soul,
Tô sem estamina.
now's the time to avert your eyes.
Eu pego.
Things are about to get a little disturbing.
Tá livre.
All right.
Ó, mano. Eu ia jogar na tabela, mano.
Man possessed, Adam floors the forklift and proves pigs really can fly.
Nossa, mano.
There we go.
Golaço. Viado. Bela da hora.
Oh, man. It smells even worse now.
Pork salad.
Let's get her in the truck. I'll take the top half. I'll split the duty.
Não, eu errei, desculpa. Tô acostumando com o toque, velho.
Relaxa, que isso é mais difícil mesmo.
Surprised by the results. This one was perhaps the most surprising thing we've ever done to me. I was completely convinced at the beginning of this testing that we would be able to slice up one of those pigs with one of those cables under tension. 20,000, 30,000.
Mano, alguém sempre tem que ficar marcando esses 5, velho. O cara é chatão.
When I saw what was happening, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is possible, and it was absolutely right.
Na área aqui é o
5 livros, 5
Não, eu tô
livros.
indo, eu tô nele. Relaxou.
Totally busted.
Tirou, boa. Eita. Calma, perereca.
Ó, sobrou mil clippers.
Eu ia pegar.
Nossa.
Macho Marox.
Errou.
Jogo fraco.
Valeu.
Ela tava fácil. Ó, o time dele.
Pô, você ia pegar desviou em mim, velho.
Perdeu. Sabia.
Eu adiantei, pô.
Ih, nossa.
Eu adiantei ela. Toca.
Não, não. Aí, 1 minuto, velho.
Nossa
Mas já vi cara
senhora.
ruim, vai. Nossa, deve dar bem, mano.
Goleiro do cara aqui.
I gotta say, it's almost too exciting.
Ô Maroche.
As the boys build a colossal cannon powered by steam.
Chegando.
Caralho, velho.
And then the
É
Mythbusters
30
put their
segundos,
money
velho.
where their mouths are.
Kind of reminds me of high school for some reason.
As they sniff out what's got more nutrients, breakfast cereal or the box it comes in.
Smells like poo.
Who are the
Meu
Mythbusters?
Deus.
Adam Savage
Aos 5, como sempre.
and Jamie Heineman.
This is gonna kill you.
Between them, over 30 years,
Foi mal.
Maroche, ele não sabe que é voltar pra defesa, não. Ele só fica na banheira e não fala porra nenhuma. Aí, Fica mandou bem, fez porra nenhuma. Tomar no rabo.
Argentino, pô. É bot. Sabe como argentino é? Olha lá, só porque eu falei, isso não vai tocar mais.
É, por mim.
Valeu pela partida.
Valeu.
Vou dormir.
Boa noite.
Valeu. Nossa, que bagunça.